Oh, hello, everybody.
Hi.
Welcome back to the table, Wonders. I actually didn't expect that because turns out our DM today is a fairy dragon that may or may not be a force of chaotic evil. Or just pure chaos. It's hard to really say. But welcome back, everybody. How are we all doing today? We got some cool stuff to look at here right now.
Yeah, I hear we got some packages.
Yeah, I got this. It was sitting on my desk, addressed specifically to me, so it's mine.
Okay.
I'm kidding. But and there's a reason I have the Wake out here, and that's because his student is finally among us.
Oh, damn! Ezra blushing! Oh my god!
And it is fucking adorable. Here, hold on. Let's get it to the.
See if we can.
Look at that girl.
Look at her!
Yeah.
She's got the long flowing black hair.
Her armor is like just right. Like it looks great. It is
She's
crafted.
got the hooves.
Yes.
There's a card in here. If
She hooves.
feel free to hold that up. This is by handmade by Yoshi. That's Yoshee. Yoshi of Stove and Yoshi Studios.
Nice.
And this is a special gift to us from Cartoon Kitsune.
Oh,
So thank you so much for, I'm assuming, getting this commissioned for us because it is absolutely adorable. And while the size discrepancy,
That's
kind of
like,
the opposite, but I'm happy that Wake has a student back now. Yeah.
He's patting you on the head.
Too much punchies.
Friendship. I'm a princess.
I got another box right over there.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's see what's
Set that down.
this one sealed with duct tape.
The tape of ducks.
That quacking tape. Does our fairy dragon overlord have anything to say about duct tape?
Could have much to say about it. And Jesus, Vito!
When'd you get here?
Duct tape.
I've been here this whole time. What are you guys talking about?
Okay.
Oh. Well, hi. Nice to see you.
Why are you guys talking to the fucking Fey Dragon?
I don't know.
He's our friend.
Something told me.
upside down, no.
Something told me they'd be important one day.
Well, we got. This is from Hinata, who also sent us
A bunch of
hero
hero figs.
Yes.
figurines here.
Yeah, her and her
We got-
brother.
Yeah, got a little Healy potion here.
The potion of healing.
Yeah, and
A crocheted healing potion. Looks like
yep,
them Dargan balls.
some crocheted Dargan balls. We got the 1 through 3 balls here.
Awesome. Well, thank you kindly, Hinata.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Oh, my hair feels like a mess today.
It's moist out today.
It's
It is, and yet the air is oddly dry, which is good for this wood background, but
Yeah,
not for my skin or hair.
my sinuses.
I woke up this morning and I'm just like, oh god, am I at the East Coast again? What happened here?
So, correct me if I'm wrong. Last we left off, we were in a box, and Dagon tricked a evil fire djinn into burning all of his friends, or allies, as it were. And then
converting some friends,
Yeah,
yeah.
converted some friends into piles of lava. And as we were, making our way to try to see what else was going on in the room, we got spotted, if I'm correct.
Yeah, you kind of met with a big
So-
bellowing,
so
I've
it-
been double-crossed.
Ezra's hand just kind of popping out. There's like, hi.
Is everything okay? Oh, no.
Now, I would like to amend that the effects of the spell does mean that he immediately sees you as an enemy.
Naturally. Not surprising.
Unfortunately.
Not that he wouldn't either way.
Yeah. Feel
But
like
there
that
is
was
no
something-
real good way to talk ourselves out of this
well,
due to the spell.
he expected money and now he's got people.
Okay.
But what's worth more money,
Exactly.
really?
People
is it
can be
money?
converted into money.
Exactly. Like, this how he got the money he has now.
I can't remember. Did we have to immediately roll for initiative when he saw me?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so now remind me. So as long as we're re-establishing the status quo, I am still on the ground floor disguised as a griffin. Is that correct?
Indeed.
Yeah, you
But that
just
also
watched a
means-
bunch of drow get turned into lava.
Yeah, you watched that happen. You also watched that Omrez and his friends both got... they all got Zerl out of there. They're, like, holding him up and, like, hoisting him into the caravan at this point. And Vagan is now looking over and watching as the Zorn that came down to turn all the drow into paste now turns, stops, and looks towards the caravan.
So we got a bunch of different stuff going on here in 2 different rooms.
I also want to make sure this is established. Though the djinn has seen me, He has not yet seen Dagon, who is also in the box.
I
Correct?
am in the box under, I believe, as we were doing the shifting around, I am now holding the trapped crate.
Yes.
He sees you, but at this point, I don't think the fireball forming in his hand has any opinion on what it hits.
Right. I
And
just want to make sure that should the opportunity arise for me to distract him and get him to look away from the box, Dagon is still undetected.
I will also say this, that even though you are rolling initiative, I will, if you wish to engage in conversation in some way to diffuse this, I will allow it.
Oh, okay. If that's the case.
I will allow it, but you best make this fucking good.
I'm assuming.
Well, hold on.
Yeah.
Before we do, I do want initiative.
I'm going to go ahead with that.
And Ben, I will want you to roll as well.
That makes perfect sense. I think just for the sake of expediency, I'll just state that when my action comes up, I'm going to bolt for the stairs the moment I see those Zorn walk towards me. Otherwise, I'm just going to maintain my cover.
All right, 22 on Dagon's initiative.
22 for Dagon.
7 for Ezra's initiative.
Modified 20 for Eloy.
And unfortunately, Vagan's not going to get into combat. He kind of just like ducked into the caravan.
We understand his position.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that was
made clear.
Yep.
And the Kobold troop is collectively...
Running.
No, collectively they've put themselves up, unfortunately, since they're getting poor Zerl in the back of the caravan, they're going last.
Okay.
Okay, and now I gotta roll for Almarad and the Zorn itself.
They should probably abandon the caravan and just run, but whatever.
Well, that's their business now.
Yeah. We did our side.
Well, they don't know what's going on, and I don't know, I guess they have some kind of honor where they're just like, nah, we probably shouldn't abandon the people who helped us out, even though they're probably dead as a doornail at this point.
Pretty sure we made it very clear, like, look, your priority is the kid, our priority is getting this guy alive if possible.
Yeah.
Okay. Now for the Zorn. Zorn didn't roll all that well. No. Okay, now let me just recalibrate everyone's rolls. So, yep. Yeah, I'm just adding all this shit together.
This is the sequence where the narrator is describing what's going on and we're all staring at each other.
Last time
What will
on-
happen
last
when these two
time.
forces meet each other?
On the natural wonders.
You can describe what you're going to say while I'm getting all this shit down.
No, that's
anyway.
fine. So if Ezra is peeking his head out of this box and is spotted because of my terrible stealth roll, thus triggering all of this nonsense.
Which you were.
Yes, exactly. If I would see him detecting me, I would immediately start going like, well, it looks like you found me, moving away from the box, but still very clearly being like, I can't believe I was discovered. This plan seemed perfectly well thought out. I could have sworn that acting alone, I'd be able to sneak in here and abscond with all of the rubies we had just paid you for this transaction. I'd be performing and gesticulating wildly and moving away with a 16 in performance. I can't believe I was found! Me, alone, here, in this box!
You're going to actually get out of the box?
Yes.
Okay, I need you to roll me a stealth to make sure that you don't open the box and reveal everyone else.
Okay.
Oh, we're under pass.
Oh, no, I know.
Oh, okay.
But
Nah, I think that's fair. A presence of mind did not throw open the box as I exit
Yeah.
it.
I kind of hope that.
Oh, and a nat 20!
Hey.
yeah, that helps. All right, so you get yourself out of the box now. You're rolling for performance.
Yes.
Okay.
I had rolled that earlier, and I had said it was a 16.
A 16?
Do you want me
Okay,
to
I'm
do
going to
that?
roll
Okay.
for Almarad's insight. Okay. He outplays you, but
Okay.
enough to know to like your nat 20 in stealth.
I'm hamming it up too much for there to not be something else afoot, but he doesn't know what it is yet. I'm
Exactly.
guessing? Okay. All right. Well, I have now
So
exited the
Mars
box.
sent a buffoon instead of money.
Maybe that's what you think, I say, still trying just to continue to lock his gaze.
Oh no, he's still got you. He's got
Okay.
his scimitars out at the ready. 2 of them at the ready.
All right.
All right. With my 22 in initiative, where does that put me in this order?
If combat starts, you are first.
Oh,
Okay.
I thought rolling initiative meant combat was
Well,
begun.
Well, I'm doing this as a prep in case
Okay.
shit goes down.
Yeah. Basically, I think I've just set the table now to be, I think initiative can start playing out. I have just distanced myself from the box,
Yes.
is what I was trying to do. And so I would think that I have no further action. It was just trying to get away from the box was my goal.
Well, Almerad has his eyes locked on you. He's got his scimitars ready.
Okay. Then I am just like, ha ha ha, no, you have me. Still just standing here, performing.
And
Well-
what's to stop me from just killing you right here and now?
At which point, Dagon would pop up because, my friend, there are 2 buffoons here. And I throw the trapped box at him. The box full of trapped rupees.
All right.
This would be a strength for hurling a box, right?
Well, that, but I also need you to throw me a sleight of hand to open the box.
Oh, I'm just popping up out of it.
Oh, you're just gonna caper toss it at him?
Yeah, I'm stopping. Because, friend, there are 2 buffoons. Poof!
All right, athletics check.
Oh, athletics check. Okay, that's
Because
actually
you
better.
haven't opened the actual box, you're just hurling it at
Oh,
him.
then that check would be a 22
22?
to just pop open.
Okay. Well, it hits him square in the face. Let me roll a 1d100 to see the percentile.
All right, let's see how this trapped box was working.
Yo, come on. If we're gonna have ball bearings round 2, I'm ready.
Okay.
And Dagon would use the rest of his move action to get out of the box and move an equal distance away from that side of the box as he is.
Well,
So
you watch as the box explodes, like almost like with the confetti, like as this weird ethereal blue net kind of now covers on top of him as his horns hold the crate that was opened up, the suitcase. It's now hanging on like one of his horns, while the net is now just like sitting on like silly string.
gotcha.
It's just like, oh, I'm gonna enjoy. What the fuck? He can't summon fire.
Well, that's awkward.
Seems to be a strange conundrum.
And I think that was my turn.
Yep. We are now. So congratulations, you just actually nullified him using magic whatsoever.
Hooray!
Ben,
Until he can get that net off or something. I don't know. Depends on what it's doing.
he's kind of a fat guy, and like all of his clothing is kind of like it's all stuck to him. So he's like,
get off with my scimitars.
yeah.
Oh,
no,
boy.
Well, he like takes his one hand and like you can see like maybe 2 fingers are able to reach the net.
Help.
Oh no!
He's the kind of guy where he's so fat he can't scratch the other side of his face with like one part of his hand. Oh.
With the amount of muscle mass that he has here, he could probably like if he presses his arm against his head, he can just barely scratch.
Okay, I see. He's Kingpin style.
Yeah, Kingpin. Ben, you are now seeing these 2 Zorns staring at the caravan. They're all, like, before you didn't notice this, but now, well, actually, you've never seen these things before, so this is all a fucking brand new force. These fucking spider, like, upside-down spider with open maw on the top of their head with bleeding lava coming out of their eyes is now staring at the caravan.
That's horrifying.
You heard Almerad scream from the top, "I've been double-crossed!" So you can think that something's amiss here.
I mean, I did sort of see those guys pop off and take care of those drow that I was worried about, so...
Well,
yeah.
they're just coming out of the building now and now staring at the caravan as lava is seeping out of the open holes of the buildings that they came out of.
Okay, so are they now... Because they went off and took out those drow, right?
For
As much as we can tell,
as
yeah.
much as you can tell, yes.
Yeah. So what I'm trying to get at is, so they've since moved away from the opening of the building. Do I have a clear shot at the opening of the building, the door?
You not the door, but you have the window, and the window is starting to seep out lava.
No, I think he means the
one that
where
we're
we
in.
Oh, the
are.
tower.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
You could beeline it straight for the tower.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna dash action, just book it for the tower.
Ooh.
All right.
We're just gonna assume those kobold boys can hold their own here.
I mean, the plan was we take care of this guy, you guys book it with the kids. So
True enough.
Yep.
I'm trusting them to hold to the plan.
All right. Well, I'm gonna roll an intelligence check for the boys real quick. Well, okay, on their turn, they get the picture of what's going on, which is upsetting because I kind of had something I wanted to explain.
well.
It's a good idea what you just did, but it kind of like threw a monkey wrench into what I wanted to do. So I think I'm going to have to explain what the plan was.
Go for it.
That's fine.
Because I kind of spent a lot of time making this. I'm like, I'm not letting this slip away. I'm not letting this slip away.
Of mice and men.
Man plans. PCs laugh.
All right, well, let me explain what I was going to give them before they fuck off on this. I gave these kobolds something called the Jessex Formation, which is called the Hydra Formation. Basically, they would have formed Mecha Shiva into one kobold. Let me explain it in total, because I want to make this available for the people at home. The Hydra Formation, if all kobolds are occupying one space adjacent to each other, they can merge into one 5-foot square creature on this turn. The kobolds can combine their attacks into one turn based on the amount of kobolds within the formation. The player must dictate one of the kobolds within the formation to act as the driving force for stat purposes. AKA Omrez was going to take head on that.
So are they kind of like forming like a phalanx, basically?
Pretty much. While occupying one square, the kobold's total HP become 1. When taking damage, the kobolds can dictate which kobold will absorb the damage. Taking a total amount of the damage of the one kobold's maximum HP will drop the kobold from the formation and reduce the base attacks allotted in the formation.
Okay.
The formation
Hey,
requires...
Magic the Gathering players, remember banding?
Brian does.
This formation requires all kobolds to use one-handed melee weapons, and every single one of them individually must be proficient in using it. So they all had spears.
Okay.
So form of Mecha Shiva, 5 times the amount of attacks in one character.
All right. Well, they should just fucking start booking it now.
Yeah. Which is
Unfortunately.
Unfortunate, but their plans are not our plans.
Yeah. Oh well.
And that's why we have a crate.
Well, at least I got that out of there, so I don't feel as bitter about this.
No, it's still
Hey,
a cool
it can
idea.
always turn up somewhere else.
Yeah. Nothing says these guys can't run partway through down the road and go like, all right, Your Highness, you keep going. We got to double back.
Oh, the kid's knocked out cold. That's not happening though.
Cold, bold.
So, okay, I thought I just... Oh, here we go. Here's the list. All right, Ben, so you book it past the Zorn. The Zorn are, like, at least 40 feet away from you on both sides, so you could just make it inside, no problem.
Still
But
looking
you are
like
at
a
the base of
griffin.
the tower at this point. And remember, yeah, still as the Griffin.
And yeah, I don't know that. I was about to say I don't know much that a griffin would do differently than what I'm doing. Actually, that's not true. A griffin would probably fucking fly away,
gonna say,
and I don't have that option.
You might
wings.
have your wings clipped. I mean, how else would they keep them on the ground?
Well, you say that, and now I must roll an intelligence check for the Zorn.
These unsold golems
May I make a performance check to try to act as griffin?
You may.
become as griffin.
Don't chase me, I'm still a griffin. Wah!
That would be a 26.
All right, one Zorn is completely convinced, while the other one...
I also don't know how a Zorn acts towards a griffin differently than he would anything else, so this is all a big crapshoot.
The Zorns just look at each other like, what?
Well, they lost their steed. No big deal.
Now they're just, they lost their steed. They're now staring at the caravan.
Vagan just cowering inside. Please, oh, please, oh, please, oh, please, oh, please, oh, please.
I think Vagan can take care of himself. If he dies, he left a bunch of cool stuff.
Hey, man. Our key to the Splendor Maw might die with him, but you know what? I already told him he could probably keep that ring of double action. Finders keepers.
And
But if
Okay.
a corpse has it, who
Yeah.
knows?
Frida is
hope
up
it doesn't
next,
melt.
actually.
Frida's turn.
Frida,
Who is still in the box.
Yep.
And I think she has the thing with the... Oh, she has the real rubies.
she has the real rubies. She just puts it down. She stays in the box and casts Rave Enfeeblement.
Pew.
This is why I was trying to pull attention away from the box.
Yep. Rave Enfeeblement. Unfortunately, because of how chunky and because of the fact he's a fucking genie and he has charisma out the get-go, Almorad is not affected by this ability.
Woman is a charisma save? That's weird.
DC spell save.
Oh, okay.
Almorad is chock full of it. He's fat and he's handsome. That's about as good as he's got.
And boy, is he magic.
Well, genies are magic.
Well.
Unfortunately, he just like takes the beam like a champ. You just watch as this crippling, like almost like you look at the beam and you escape from Frida's hand, and you actually like feel this inner dread and sickness almost seep inside you, but it doesn't like actually like it's a mind over matter sort of scenario. Almorad's just like, ugh. He's too busy with the net, and now the net is stuck to his finger. Like, oh god, no!
This is the worst.
This is the fucking worst. We are now up to Grant. You are now standing right in front of Almorad, who is this big 9-foot-tall fat dude with now a suitcase and a net on top of him, with a scimitar in one hand.
All right. You said he's got a big net on him, right?
Well,
It's a tiny
Well,
little
a tiny
blue
net.
silly string net that's
yeah, it looks like
negating his
silly
magic.
string on top of him at this point, so it's like covering his face, so it's like,
Okay. Just ballpark, how far away am I from him?
5 feet.
5 feet?
You're right in front of him.
Oh, great. With my cunning action, I'm going to instruct my alchemy jug to create some glue, as much glue as it can.
Okay, you have, I'm going to say, let me double check this real quick.
Can't remember what the amount of glue the alchemy jug can make is.
Oh no, I can make that. I just want to roll to see a percentile of something. All right. You have 1 turn before the adhesive turns hard.
Okay. And with my actual action, I am going to splash that glue all over that net.
All over his face?
Yes, just all over the face and net, and just like try and getting it just all over the head to just
Okay.
Adhere.
yes.
All right.
Anything that might be touching his head right now might stay there.
Good call. I like it.
Okay, I would like you to roll me a sleight of hand.
Sleight of hand, you got it. Come on, dice, don't fail me now. Not great. That's gonna be an 11.
That's okay, because Almorad rolled
12.
a nat 1.
Hey! 12 with that sleight of hand.
Yeah, there's now like a strip of glue on top of his face. So it's glue across the eyes, net, and now his hand.
All right. And I know you said it would take a turn for that to like actually adhere, like stick.
Yep.
I just want to throw this out there just as a possible counterclaim. He is a fire gen that would heat up very quickly. I would.
I'm pretty sure the net's counteracting his
The
heat.
net has counteracted
fair
that.
point. I will accept that.
Also, that would melt the glue, so that'd be bad.
I was thinking it was just instant dry, but yeah, no, that's fair.
No, because if it's just adhesive and glue,
Oh yeah,
like it would just he'd be able to crumble that shit off instantly.
maybe a concrete would have been better.
Then I would have asked you to do a strength check.
You would have also needed to mix water into
Yeah.
it or some shit. I don't know.
It only does 1 liquid, not 2 at a time.
Anyway, with that, being at 5 feet would moving create an attack of opportunity for him.
It would,
Okay.
because you are the target in front of him at this point.
In that case, I think I'll just stand my ground then. I'll be like, ha ha, I gotcha.
All right, cool. And also,
You can take dodge as an action, which gives you advantage on.
Oh yeah.
Or as a reaction.
As a
Although,
Well, no,
however,
I've got-
in this tower, there is something that has to be said if you guys decide to move. No one has done that just
Okay,
yet.
cool.
okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
taking dodge as an action gives you advantage on your first attack against you.
Well, wasn't using the item my
oh
action?
yeah, never mind. Then.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, his cunning, his,
Yeah, all I have left is my movement, and if I try to move, I think is going to trigger the attack of opportunity. And I've got uncanny dodge if he starts attacking me anyway, so I think I will just stand here and
Fair enough.
try to stealth when more things start affecting him.
Let me move this out of the way. This is not necessary. All right. Yep. So it is now the kobolds' turn, who have taken your heed, and they kind of just like all 4 of them just get on. 2 of them get on one side, the other 2 get on the other side, hoist up the cart, turn it around, and use their strength checks
it.
combined to book it. With a nat 20, they absolutely do, and you just see Vagan. You hear Vagan. Whoa, fuck! And they are out of combat. The Zorn see the Griffin and hear the commotion going inside. I'm going to roll an intelligence check to see if they even think of you as a threat at this point. 1 Zorn. I need you to roll me a performance check.
All right. 27.
1 Zorn kind of just like melds into the ground, and you watch as like almost like shark like ripple in the water as its mouth, it's this 2 rows of teeth kind of just like warp past you and go up the staircase as if it's climbing the tower. So you watch as this like weird, almost like aquatic bulge in the stone starts rising up. Almost like when you know in a cartoon where someone swallows something and you watch the lump in their throat go down, but think that in reverse.
Up this tower.
Does he take a left turn at Albuquerque?
Not this one. The one behind you is just like, all right, this thing has to get out of the way. I need you to roll me a dex save as this thing's clawed talon-like hand reaches up to grab you from the midsection.
Ooh, okay. Dex save 23.
You are too nimble, but this thing is now locked with you as the other one is too busy to get upstairs. So now there is something underneath you trying to grab at you.
Okay, and
He's
the
playing
other
a game of grab ass.
Oh!
Nice.
He's a donkey.
I'll accept that. Those were the Zorn's turn. We are back up the list.
All right. Can I determine which way would be the way that a person would enter this room, like from the outside?
Roll me an investigation check.
This is a free action? Because I would do something else otherwise.
Don't worry,
Okay.
don't worry about actions.
Investigation is a 9?
9. With all the commotion that's going on and the way you were turned in here and the way that you actually now look around and notice that the entire tower is slanted, that there's no possible way with all the debris and other shit that's around here that you can pinpoint where someone would get in or out.
Fair enough. Then I will just...
The only way you can possibly see if anyone can leave here is by out a window. But based on how far you guys have climbed up and we're inside that crate, you think that that's a death sentence.
Fair enough. All right, well, as my bonus action, I select Mr. Almarad as my Hexblade curse target.
Okay.
And I will move in. I have no ways of dealing non-fatal damage, but I would like to keep him alive if possible. But I assume he's a beefy boy, so he can take a few of these. I move in and start hacking.
All right.
I remove Chick from my... Is it a 13? No, it's a 19. So I'm... Does a 28 hit?
That will hit.
Okay. And slicing away with Chick for 9 plus 3, 12. Oh, wait, no, that's also a crit because that's a 19 on the die.
Yeah.
All right. So that's 12 damage plus an additional 7. That's 19 damage.
Okay. And...
Magical slashing for sake.
Okay.
And I go for a second slice. Does a 21 hit?
No, it does not.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay. Cool. I got caught in some blubber.
Yep. You actually take the blade to him, and you actually watch as your sword gets stuck in his body for a quick second. You pull back, and you actually see that there is a gash where you left. But getting that sword back out, that was hard. That was almost you were almost unable to actually dislodge your sword from his body.
Well, this is intriguing. Hey, Chick? Yes, he is quite fat.
He now has a very nice looking, what almost looks like a paper cut to his stomach.
Wow, and that was a crit.
Well, all right. It's setting a stage here for a real fight.
Ben, it's now your turn.
Okay, so one of the Zorn just got past me, and the other one is like underneath me, trying to grapple at me.
Yep. For the most part, you just watch as the earth almost looks like the surface of water as a taloned hand reaches out to grab at you. The only other thing you have right now is you can either go back out the way you came or go up a staircase, which looks like you'd have to walk up in a slant. And you're quadruped, so imagine that.
Getting down would actually be more difficult for him.
All right, the one below me that's trying to grapple at me, I'm going to... Let me check something here.
Zorn stats while we're at it.
All right. I'm going to try casting Suggestion at it.
Okay.
He hears a voice in his head saying, "Hey man, I think one of those drow in the woods got away. I think you better go back after it. Make sure that he's all dead." He gets a Wisdom saving throw against my spell DC 15.
He failed.
Ooh. Okay, so now for the next hour, or unless I lose concentration, he has to follow that course of action and go searching for drow that don't exist.
On his turn, he will leave the battlefield.
All right. And then as soon as he stops actively trying to grapple at me, I'm gonna try and make my way up the stairs to the others.
I need to roll something for him, because you are counteracting Almarad's spell alongside his. He is too stupid to comprehend. He actually, like, you see as you're starting to run up the staircase, you see as, like, parts of him are, like, rising up out, like he's, like, you know how when someone, like, puts their fist to their mouth, like, contemplating, like, oh, fuck, what the hell do I do? That's what he's doing, but since, you know, it's kind of, like, duck bill open at the top, he's like, oh, no, what do I do?
Also, I had that duration wrong. That's up to 8 hours.
Wow.
So he's stuck there for a minute. Yeah, Suggestion is a real good spell when it actually works. It very seldom has in this campaign.
He's gonna search for a bit.
Yeah.
All right, it is now Frida's turn. So you got out to go attack.
Yeah, he and I are kind of next to each other by Almarad here.
Frida will, since you're the one, you're up to him right in front of him, she will cast Bless upon you.
Okay.
So
I think you can add a D4 to a roll or something like that. Is that
Yes.
what Bless is? Yeah.
Okay.
So she's buffing you at this point. Because she looks at that, she's like, there's no way I can fucking hit this thing. Even with the scimitar. With the fact that you barely fucking grazed him, she doesn't think she's gonna stand a chance to hit this thing in melee.
Oh, Dagon has a second plan.
I think it's a D4 to like just about
Yeah,
all rolls.
almost
all rolls.
almost everything. You can add that D4 to.
Okay.
There's a reason why clerics are called bless bots in 5e. It's a good spell.
Almarad's turn.
Yeah, he's
Sticky bad!
Sticky, fuck, god damn it, this sucks.
I got this net on me, and this mean man is slicing me, and I don't have money.
just kidnapped a kid for some rubies. Didn't think it'd be this hard.
All right, you actually watch as he takes away his hand and pats at his body, not where Dagon sliced him, but he's actually patting down an article of his clothing. And then almost when he looks like he's assured about that, then he begins to try and pull everything off his face.
Okay.
He's able to release the glue, but not so much the net from his head.
Okay.
So
So he wiped
he
most of it
wasted
was
an
like-
action. He wasted a perfectly good action to do that.
So he's like scratching away at the glue, just trying to get everything off.
But he does see now there's a half elf standing right before him.
with just this alchemy jug dripping glue, like.
Raising both scimitars and slice. What is your
Alright.
AC?
15.
Oh, so I think I just dropped my pencil. Yes, I did. 15, you say?
Yes.
Yeah, that's hitting you.
Okay.
The big boy.
He's a big, beefy man. For 12 points of damage.
All right. I saw that coming, so I uncanny dodged it, and it did 6. With my reaction.
12 points of damage, and you look down at where he sliced at you. You pretty much used your arm to try and push the blade away, so it kind of like scraped down the side of your arm. You look at it. It doesn't look like that was a blade cut. That looks like that was pure fire, as your clothing is now singed.
Okay, his swords are hot.
Hot potato.
Yep. And Almarad will stand his ground and actually look like he's parrying his swords together in a cross-like fashion and taking some kind of a weird stance. as he's looking at you guys specifically, you two standing in front of him, and you just see this big grin on his face. He's just like, come on.
I know what's up.
We are now up to Grant's turn.
All right. I'm going to use a cunning action to disengage.
Okay.
So that gets me out of there and not immediately.
You will not take an attack of
being
opportunity
attacked.
if you walk away.
Okay. And would I need to, if I wanted to just try and sneak away, do I need to look for a place to hide first, or can I just stealth out of there to try and?
He is directly looking upon you. You'd have to describe to me what you're doing. But also, if you are planning to move, I'm going to have to ask you to roll something else.
Okay. I'm planning to move. I will go ahead
Okay,
and tell you
you
that.
are planning to move. I need you to roll me a acrobatics check with disadvantage.
With disadvantage. Okay. Well, that's definitely disadvantage, all right. But I can use this bless to.
Yes.
You can add the D4 to that.
You can add the D4.
Unfortunately, that doesn't negate a natural 1.
Oh, it
which
doesn't?
Is what you just rolled.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then in that case.
Natural wonders.
In that case, Captain has his crew. Natural wonders. What we do.
You forgot that this entire place is tilted.
All right, and now I just make a dramatic
You-
escape.
Yep, you slip and fall, knock yourself prone, and start sliding to the nearest open window for 10 feet.
Okay.
How does this affect the rest of us as this thing is, or is it just the fact that this terrain is unleveled that he's...
The terrain is unleveled and that's happening.
I didn't know if this building, the whole building just shifted, but...
You were walking against when you went up to him, you walked against it, so you didn't have to make that roll.
Gotcha.
Somehow in my confidence, I tried to move and was not paying attention to, oh, there's an incline, and
Yep.
tripped.
So you are now knocked prone, and you are sliding towards an open window in a 7-story tall building.
Okay.
We are now up to... Okay, we're now up to... the Kobold's left, so he's gone. The other Zorn is gone. So the next Zorn, he's going to spend his move action to terrain shift all the way up to the next floor. So as you're sliding down, you watch as this giant, massive stone creature just stumbles its way out of the wall, almost like it was water.
Okay.
And that's his turn.
All right.
Back up the list.
This is plan B for Dagon, trying to go non-lethal, which is convenient as your predicament, but hopefully you can catch this. Dagon is going to yell, "Captain!" and he's going to throw towards you a loop of his 50 feet of chain.
Okay.
Okay. I'll let you do that as...
Yeah, no, just throwing that is my action. That's fine. I
Okay.
have a move action after this that I have planned.
Do I need to sleight of hand to catch it? Or
I will let you do that on your turn.
Okay.
Okay.
As of right now, he's knocked prone, so he's kind of dealing with that.
Yeah.
And also a fucking stone golem creature that has a spider mouth on the top of its head just walked out of the wall.
Yeah, this is kind of my plan to save him. I'm hoping this would kind of go off in a bit in tandem. I don't
Yeah.
know if you wanted to take part of this away from his turn, but
I'll
him
let
being
him.
weight on this chain is actually something I need for this to go off.
Okay.
So,
Okay. Well, yeah, I can.
I'll say he could do it, but he has to do it on his turn.
okay. Can I at least throw the roll in athletics to help him with that, for my toss to him?
With your strength check, you could just do it, no problem.
Okay, well, yeah, I toss the end of chain to him, and with my move action, I'm going to continuously wrap the rest of that 50 feet of chain around Almorad. I don't
All right.
care if this takes me an attack of opportunity or not. I am staying within combat distance, though, so...
Okay, I do need you to roll an acrobatics check with disadvantage.
Disadvantage?
Because going around him.
Yeah, no, I'm
will activate
doing
that.
flips and whatever, and just jumping around him, trying to stay away from him. Well, the disadvantage was definitely real because the other one was a nat 20. Did it acrobatics? You said?
Yes.
All right, that would be a 17.
You just made it. You felt your footing drop, and you also felt the floorboards underneath you actually creak. And for a second, you could have almost felt the entire tower shift with your weight.
Okay, so as basically there's 20 foot of chain heading towards his way, and the remaining 30 feet of chain is, as I am ducking and diving and trying to wrap it every which way around him, is now wrapped securely around this dude holding his X formation.
Okay, I will let you get the grapple on him next turn. Right now, it's Almorad's attack of opportunity on you.
That's fine.
Will a 19 hit?
Yes, it will.
Ouch.
Yeah, as I'm ducking and juking and...
Ow, fuck. That is 15 fire damage right
Sheesh.
there.
That is a hot boy.
And now his second attack. He has
excuse me, 1 attack of opportunity.
That is correct.
If it was his turn.
On his turn, he will do so.
Yeah.
Which is coming up, I think.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. I think typically I'm next in the order
Yeah.
after Dagon, yeah.
But
So
is he considered bound in any way, shape, or form by me?
it's around
looping
his
this-
legs at this point.
I did use all 30 feet of my movement.
Oh no,
to run around
I
him.
know. At
Okay.
this point, but like I said, when we get back to your turn,
Okay.
I will let you take an action to actually make that a reality.
Okay, cool.
So at this point, it's prepared. It's not set.
Okay, so it's there, but it's not taut.
Yes.
Gotcha. Technically, on your turn, we can make it taut if you catch it.
I hope. If I'm prone. And
Oh no, that's exactly why I'm like I want to wait till we get to his turn because I'm seeing where you're going.
Yeah. Our goal is to get him alive, and I do not have non-lethal damage in my
right.
repertoire.
Ben, if you take a dash, you will make it upstairs.
Okay, I would like to point out for the benefit of the audience that as an asinine centaur, I have the sure-footed trait, which renders me immune to non-magical difficult terrain.
Nice.
So, yep, I'm just booking it up there with my sure-footed mountain donkeyness.
And that is exactly why I'm not allowing you to take disadvantage rolls on any of these. So you're dashing all the way up?
Yep.
All right. You're just like, don't worry, guys, I'm here. And here's the Zorn coming out of the wall right next to you.
Oh, hi, he came too. Hi. But yeah, with a dash, that's about... Actually...
And unfortunately, due to the fact that Vagan is no longer in the vicinity and his concentration is clearly broken, you are no longer a griffin.
Fair enough. Come! Oh, hi, guys. Surveying the room, do I see Ezra and Dagon? Can I tell where everybody's situated?
Where you are currently is you guys, you can see now. You watch as right as you're...
Ezra, Eloy, when did you get here?
Yeah, you're like 15 feet away from actually going out this window, but you see off to the side, you see Eloy pop his head up.
Hi, Cap.
So if I've got line of sight to Ezra, because a dash will take my action, but as a bonus action... Oh my god, Ezra, are you alright? Get up, I believe in you! Bardic Inspiration dice.
You got so many things to add to your
No.
rolls.
Hopefully I don't get another nat 1 and negate any additions.
All right, it is now Frida's turn. Frida, I'm gonna roll to see if she actually catches wind of your plan.
Poor Frida, she blesses me and I immediately fall over.
Unfortunately,
She didn't stab you.
Yeah, she is not. She is not able to pick up what you're putting down, unfortunately, because she's too busy with what's going on.
Because I threw it at him.
Yep. So you just like toss chain to the side. Frida is too busy making sure Almorad doesn't like pull any punches or whatnot. I'm going to quickly see her
I
abilities.
assure you, at 15 damage, he is not pulling punches.
She is going to, however, use her crow step to actually appear behind him to get flank. Yep, so you just watch as Almorad swings at Frida and she like splits apart into birds and flies away. And then she reappears behind him with a knife at the ready.
Nothing personnel, kid.
Yep, she just nothing personnel this fat boy.
I had to test my abilities.
She just matches his AC with that.
Surprise.
Okay, she gets 6 points of necrotic damage as she lands the knife into his fucking blubber of flesh.
It's got this, well, no longer glue, but still a
He's still got that
chain
magic
of
thing on
net.
his head. He's still got that net on his head. When Almorad actually does this, for those of you who are facing him, so that would be Eloy and or Dagon, roll an investigation check.
Am I just looking at the ground prone?
Yep.
I'm pretty close to him. 19.
Also 19.
Wow.
You guys watch as he's patting the side of his body, almost as if he's trying to protect something in his pants. Off to the side, not the front.
I think we. Okay, I was gonna say. I think we all understand that one.
It's a sensitive area.
If you guys will remember what happened that left off last night, those of you who peeked out of the crate will
recall.
remember that he was holding on to something beforehand.
It's all right, man. Marquis of Queensberry rules. We're not going for it. It's fine.
We're not monsters.
Okay, we are now up to Almarad's turn. Almarad will see Frida disappear, like, oh, there you are. But no, he's too big. Like, he's gonna attempt one more time to get this stuff off his head. He will fail and waste one of his turns.
Hooray!
Look over at Dagon, who is still the immediate threat at this point.
I got chains.
He's actually going to try and push you away. He's going to take the hilt of his sword and thrust it into your face with a shove. Roll an athletics check.
All right. Athletics check. Athletics check.
Not one to criticize down here, but the pointy end seems like it would have been better.
That is got a 19 on the die as a modified 25.
Alrighty. He shoves you 10 feet, but you're able to hold your ground.
Just holding onto the chain.
Yep. The chain...
Making it a bit more taut.
Yep. The chain wraps around the side of his waist, so now he actually feels it. You have a grip, but you're going to have to trip him up to make, or do something to make this a little bit more taut. With that, he pushes you away. You are going to take a little bit of bludgeoning damage from that. Only 2.
I can live with that for now. A little bit of blood going down my nose.
Yep. He just kind of just punches you in the face with the hilt of his sword.
Got another one in you?
Almarad will turn around to shift his attention to Frida.
Okay.
As a move action, he will turn around to make her a priority target. So there is no longer flank on him.
Okay. Except from me, I guess.
You're 10 feet away.
That's easily undone.
With an athletic, with the check to get back up close to him, though.
I also got that chain, which
Yeah.
is pulling me towards him.
It will help, but we'll see. We are now up to Grant's turn.
All right.
You are prone.
I'm prone.
If you do wish to get up, I will have to ask you to make that athletics check as you are sliding.
Okay.
What about that chain I threw towards him?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
If he chose to get up.
yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah, I have to get up to reach for it. I'm guessing.
And I meant acrobatics, not athletics. That's dumb.
Also, I'm assuming while I'm prone, I can't do anything, right?
No, you can still do something. It's just, it takes up, apparently from what it says here on the notes, it says here that
Half your move speed,
it
I
takes
think.
half your move speed to stand up.
Okay. And it's a check to do that. However, if I was
Well,
dropping,
no, it's not a check to get up.
Oh,
it's,
okay.
it's a check to move because you're sliding.
because I'm sliding. Okay. But dropping something is free, right?
To pull it out would be a
Okay.
action to get it out of your pocket.
Because
A cunning action?
true.
To produce an item would count as a cunning action should you so choose to.
Because I mean, I've still got A, those ball bearings, and B, a slippery potion. And if we want this boy to fall down, but you know, doing that stuff stealthily would probably be better. So I'm gonna try and stand up.
Okay, you stand.
Yes. Now to try and just disengage him.
He's not engaged.
You're not. You're
Okay.
nowhere near engaged.
I mean, move away rather.
Oh, you do want to move away?
Well, actually, I'm gonna stealth, which would be moving, but yes.
If it does, yeah. If you are going to move, then
Yeah.
I'm going to have to ask you to roll that.
No, that's fine.
With disadvantage.
Unfortunate that disadvantage, because a nat 20 would have been nice.
You can add your
Yeah.
Yeah, your
D4
You
and
can add
even the
your
bardic
stuff.
inspiration if you want.
Yeah. I'm going to add the...
There's no reason not to add the D4.
Yeah.
Yeah, that applies to.
Bless. Which, hey, 4. So that will... you said it was acrobatics, right?
Yep.
Okay, that's a 16.
You pass.
Bazinga.
You stand up and you almost feel your weight shift forward, which would have lurched you right out the window. But knowing that a fate worse than falling out a window is Frida healing you right afterwards. No! I stand my ground!
I will be fine. And now I will find some place to slink off to without notice. With a 27 on stealth.
Plus your D4.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Bless it. 30.
I mean, I could roll for the Zorn. The only chance he's getting that is if he rolls a fucking nat 20,
I mean, you can try. You never
which
know.
he does not.
Okay.
The Zorn is preoccupied with Eloy to notice you.
All right, then I have Then I have stealthed away.
You have stealthed away. I will explain what there is real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Off to the side, there are a few stray crates on the left side of you. On the right side of you, looks like what was a makeshift bed out of a statue. So, like, it was like a statue that is in the form of a seat, but it was spread apart with clothing on it to actually look like it's some kind of, like, lay-down cot.
Okay. Also realizing I left that chain there, but we'll figure that out.
I mean, you haven't moved in any location. You can still pick up the chain if you wish to.
Oh, can
but
I?
That will take up an action.
Okay. I'll do that. I want to see this plan come together.
All right, so you grab the chain. He now has the left side of the chain.
Awesome.
You
Cool.
feel
It is
feel
taut.
weight tug on the chain, knowing that Ezra has taken a part of the plan.
Perfect.
But you don't know which way are you going, the left or the right.
I'm going to go left.
You're going left.
I thought-
You're feeling the chain link out towards the side of you, so now it's becoming more of a line than it is a curve.
Okay. I mean, most of it's wrapped around this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is around him.
Yeah.
Now it is the Zorn's turn. Looks over at Eloy.
Eloy waves.
You watch as his bird-like talons kind of like clasp out as the creaking of stone extends his claws and he goes for 2 rake attacks on you. What is your AC?
AC 15.
That just made it with a 16 on the first one.
Hey, you big dummy! You can't hit me! Cutting words. Subtract 6 from that.
That's a miss.
All right.
Now his second attack. This will hit with a 19.
Okay. Well, I only have 1 reaction to use to do that. So.
One more quick check. I want to make sure I'm getting his attacks actually right, so I'm not fucking this up for anyone.
Sure.
In retrospect, I'm wishing I would have talked more to Stretch and been like, hey, all right, I promise you a lifetime of food. If I throw someone out that window, you use that psychic power of yours to stop them from dying on the fall.
Sorry, I forget.
And then we could have like a psychic buzzard following us around. That might be cool.
Yeah.
Rocks, scarecrows. I'm on S. I should be on X. White. Here we are. Here we are. Okay. You take 7 points of slashing damage.
Right.
And the Zorn decides to take space with standing in between you and everyone else. So now there is this hulking mass of stone looking at you, standing in front of you.
All right.
And that is your turn. Or that is the Zorn's turn. We're back up the list.
All right. I'm going to continue to use my move action to kind of wrap him further. Kind of going alongside with
This
him.
will, if you get this right, this will guarantee you to get most of him.
Awesome, because that's my move action. My action will be, while he's distracted with me, seemingly try to wrap him up, I am going to pickpocket him from that thing that he's been patting at his side.
Okay, a little bit too many actions going on here.
Really? 'Cause
First
I'm
thing.
moving.
First thing. Because remember, he is facing Frida, so if you go to wrap around him, he's going to see you for an attack of opportunity.
All right, well, as it is, I have him pretty well wrapped. I guess I will get back to him and pickpocket first, I guess.
You wish to pickpocket. Very well. I want you to roll me a sleight of hand.
A lot of 19s on the die today. That is a modified 22.
Okay. Roll me a 1d4.
1d4. That is a 1.
A 1? You get a small flask of some kind of liquid. You could smell alcohol on it, but you produce a small flask out of his pocket. You felt other things jingle inside of his pocket, so there are other objects within there. The only thing you were able to pull out with ease was this flask.
He's a big boy with big pockets.
All right, I have a second plan for my next turn, I guess, but one flask.
Undetermined liquid. There is something inside of it.
I'm gonna say it's flammable.
Alcohol.
Is that a good assumption if it smells alcoholic?
It smells alcoholic, so yeah.
Well, all right, that was my. Let's see if I have a bonus action that I want to use.
Well, what would you like? You still want to try and get this around him, yeah?
Yeah,
I
that
will-
would be my move action, honestly.
I
Like,
will grant you. I will grant you the ability to make this a little bit more stronger with an athletics check.
Okay.
Yeah, just give me a straight athletics check.
Athletics is one of the things I'm proficient in. Are you shitting me? That's another 19 on the die.
Oh, wow, yeah. Nope, it is.
Yeah, 25.
Can confirm.
25. Very well. You can see like maybe like his left arm and one of his legs get stiff.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, so now he's aware that he's getting put into this situation, but he has at least another arm to try and do something about it. He's aware, but now you're making progress on this grapple.
All right, so I got one of his arms and one of his legs kind of bound, basically.
Yes.
Okay.
With another, probably, if you do wish to try and do this other loop where you give him an attack of opportunity, you can get most of him bound.
All right, you have most of my spare chain left,
Yeah.
so that's might be on you. I don't know.
Okay, is that your turn?
Unless I have a bonus action that is worth using, I do not believe I do. Yes, that is my
Okay.
turn.
Okay, Ben, you're up. There is a Zorn standing in front of you that is bubbling lava where its eye should be.
Fun. So I'm like kind of in the entranceway, I would take it to this room, yeah?
Yes.
And the whole room is slanted, so I would be on the up part of the slant?
No, you are on the very bottom of the slant.
Okay. And then like, so sort of like next to me would be where the windows are that everybody's been sliding towards?
You have probably, if you step back one more square, you're kind of like on the pivot of the slant, and then another step back is out the window.
Okay. So I'm trying to get an idea. I'm gonna take a look at this Zorn. A second ago, it was like melded into the floor and the wall, right?
It came out of the stone. It doesn't have the same it doesn't have the same effect as it does on wood.
Oh, so this is like a wooden floor now?
Yes.
Okay, interesting. And how is he like in relation to this window?
He's kind of like trying to rear back at this point. Like he's using his back leg, so it's kind of like a tripod. The two front legs are what's keeping him focused in the front. In the back, it doesn't look like it has a lot of proper footing.
Okay, so he's having to like brace himself to not just fall out the window right now?
At this point, yes.
Awesome. I am going to pull out an oil of slipperiness that I've had in my inventory for frickin' ever.
Okay.
And just pop, bye, and splash it on the floor under his feet. It has the effect of a grease spell.
Ooh. Let me roll dexterity for this boy. He doesn't really have a lot of good dex.
Tell me more, will he fall off a cliff?
This is a bad day for Zorn.
Guys, is it too late to change my bard name to Zorn Slayer?
You watch him, he careens forward and like tumbles right above you and falls out the window, trying to grab at the stone as some kind of like last resort. He gets it, but because of his tremor sense of what the fuck is going on here, he forgets that he kind of made himself ethereal going through the stone, so his hand slips through like, oh fuck. Ah!
At least he'll fall through the earth with the same material. I don't know where he'll end up. but-
Meanwhile, on the opposite side of Las Serranas,
I don't know. I think gravity would eventually tether him to the center.
he's just falling back and forth forever.
For
pendulum.
the sake of this combat, that one Zorn is out of combat.
I love it when we just home alone our way out of things.
I'm happy with you guys doing this. It's fine. But he right now it's mid-fall. Probably another turn he'll hit ground. That's what you think.
You assume.
But however, there is now what looks like a grease-like stain in front of you. Walking in this will unfortunately affect you with that, even if you do have that feat for difficult terrain.
Yeah, well, this would be magical, difficult terrain, so yeah, it absolutely would affect me. But,
Okay, so that was your action. You still have a movement.
Yeah, there is nowhere to go. I've just kind of painted myself into a corner.
Luckily, you're kind of a ranged guy.
You can go. You
Yeah.
can go around it still.
Okay.
You can't take the middle path, but you can now go around the tower.
So I can see Ezra from where I am. Can I see Dagon at this point?
Yeah, you see Dagon trying to like tether chain while Frida is kind of like in front of this fat dude, and the fat dude has his back to you, but he's now looking over at Dagon as he's noticing that something's bounding one of his arms.
Okay. As my move action, I think I would just like to dig out of my pack my scroll of Featherfall and just have that at the ready, just in case something goes real bad for one of us.
Okay, you are now standing in the entryway, the staircase that leads downwards, with this scroll in your hand at the ready.
All right. I think that's a good place to be.
Okay, it is now Frida's turn. Frida, unfortunately, has herself stuck in this corner. She's going to cast Inflict Wounds on this man to see if magic will do anything. Holy shit, good stuff, Frida. She actually breaks through his defenses.
Good shoot.
You watch as she takes her claw and dig it into his chest, and you watch as necrotic energy pulse through him. It almost looks like a rubber band effect of his whole body as he like wiggles around with some kind of sickly looking energy. She removes her hand, and there is a hand palm that it looks like hand paint, and then it just blisters out into just necrotic flesh-eating disease-looking shit. Not that great though, for like 6 points of damage. It did do something though. Like he took look to that. He's just like, ah! Like he actually took offense to that rather than your sword swing.
Fine.
Well, no, like he obviously got it. Like you could see blood dripping
Yeah.
from where your sword hit, but like that didn't phase him as much as
Necrotic
shit, magic bad.
flesh burns.
Yeah, magic bad, bludgeoning or slashing not good. It is now his turn actually. Well, now he knows that something's going on with this chain. I need you to roll me a acrobatics check as he tries to grab the chain away from you.
Acrobatics for that one?
You can choose. You can either
I'll go
choose
athletics. Athletics is actually
to pull
better
it away.
for
Okay.
me. Hold on. That one actually bounced all over the place. Let me try that again. It's a nat 20. It's a nat...
Gonna inspect these dice.
yeah,
real quick.
inspect my dice, please.
Gonna see if they're baked the same way mine were. Nope, there's a one. There's a one on
There
this.
is a 1 on there. I get a lot of nat 1s with this one, but getting a lot of 19, 19, 19, whatever the fuck on this one today. I'm changing dice. This is unfair.
So what happens, Zito, with Dagon's continued repeated good luck?
There's a reason he survived this long on the seas.
A stat we can't write on his sheet because it changes every day.
Roll percentile real quick.
Did he get a nat 1, 2?
No, he didn't get a nat 1.
Okay, I was.
He didn't get a nat 1.
Did we get polar opposites here?
Okay. You are now tug of roping at the line with each other. So you are like he grabs one end and you both are kind of like pulling at each other. He can't use the one arm at this point, but he still has momentum in the other arm. So depending on what you do, might change this up. So he's kind of like keeping his ground to make sure that you're not going forward with your plan at this point.
But my nat 20 would negate him trying to stop me, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, at this point, that's why he still has the lock arm.
Yeah.
The lock arm is that nat 20.
Gotcha. He was
So-
trying to loosen that.
Yeah, so he was about to break out of that, but you stopped that, I'm
Yep.
guessing.
And as his next attack, he's just like, okay, well, no, I'm having enough of this shit. He's just like, okay, this would be so much better if I had magic. Let me try one more time.
With which arm?
With his free arm.
Okay, so he's letting go of the chain that he was trying to pull and just going
Yes.
back to that. Okay.
Oh, great. Counting on that sticking, but fine.
It held long enough.
No, yeah, it did plenty. I had a plan to send Scaffy on it to make sure it stayed a little longer, but alas.
Nah, we got ourselves a Thanos moment. You couldn't get the glove off in time.
Yeah.
Sorry. He pulls the briefcase off him, and you watch as like it actually takes a bit of his flesh and his beard with it. So,
Oh.
I am so done with this. My contract will be fulfilled. And you watch as his entire body from the top down starts like just being doused with flame. That is his turn. We are now up to Grant.
Okay. So this chain is still around him, right? Even though he's going to be
Yes.
heating up real soon.
It's about to get real hot, yeah.
Yeah.
I think we have like this and maybe my turn to try to get him bound.
No, I kind of feel the same way, which is why I'm going to ask this. So the way we've been doing with binding him with this chain has been moving around him.
Yes. If you grab your end, you can actually like get his leg out from underneath him.
Okay. Question 2. Now, the links on these chains, let's say something slid between them to try and lock them in place, you know, like you do with the chain normally.
Yeah,
Say
a
like,
lock.
say like I could with a grappling hook, just hook this through some links to really make sure he can't move it.
That would require an athletics check from you to dig it into the floorboard.
No, I'm saying like through the chain, like the
Yeah, just hooking the chain.
you know
I
how
think is
they're
what-
linked
Oh no, I
chain.
know, but there's also the chance that he could just go and uplift it.
Oh no, he's
No.
not trying to bury it into the ground. He's just trying to hook the chain onto
yeah,
the link.
the links that are already tangled around him to try and force something between those to lock them in place.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I feel like that would be a more finesse thing of basically threading the needle.
That will have to be you getting up close to him, so being within attack range and using an acrobatics.
Okay. All right, but I guess my question is, I am
You're
wanting.
linking the chains together. I get what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wants to lock him in place. so that
Basically, my
he's-
goal was to circle around him to ensnare him a bit more, and then use my action to.
I will tell you this. With this plan that you're executing, you will take away his left arm if you do this.
Okay.
His other arm? Wow.
All right.
Well, the arm that's locked. Like he could have been able to like shimmy himself out, but with that
I
will
would be
just-
ensuring that
Oh,
one
you-
never.
it's
basically-
not
You are
gonna happen.
ensuring that he can't multi-attack.
Yeah. Then I'm going to go for that. If I've expressed my plan
Yes.
thoroughly. So what do I need to do with that? Like I'm guessing to move, still a tilt.
Yep.
So still dealing with that.
You're still dealing with the tilt, so
Okay.
deal with that first.
All right. And this is acrobatics, right? With
Yes.
disadvantage? Okay. Fuck me.
Don't forget to add your D4 and your.
That's not going to
bar-
matter here. We've got another nat 1.
Natural wonders. I feel like I'm sapping all of
No,
your luck.
you know
that
what?
might be the case.
Maybe. But anyway, so yeah, so I'm guessing I fall on my face again in an attempt to maneuver around.
All right, so you slide down again, but you still have the
I'm
rope.
still holding on to this chain.
You still have the chain. So the chain then instead takes the back of his heel and yanks it enough that he's able. You might have been able to prone him with you along with this.
Yes, the ultimate Ezra luck. My bad luck
With
hurts someone else.
Okay, I just rolled a nat 1.
Wow.
Terrific.
So
Continue.
No, now hold on, because this might affect Dagon as well.
That's fine. I'm still holding on to the other side of the chain.
It's a shame this guy's a fire djinn. Otherwise,
Okay, I rolled
metal
a
would
2.
be so good right
I rolled a 2 on a nat 1. I
right.
mean, I rolled a 2 on a fucking percentile.
Yeah,
So this is bad.
Which is very bad.
Almost as bad as it could
This
get.
is almost as bad as a nat 1.
But it's bad for him.
Yes.
Well, no, it's bad for you, Almarad, and Eloy. Because
Eloy.
he is sliding down with him, and a big fat man now on top of a grease spell slides down with it.
I'm done with today.
Dagon's just like, whoop.
Are you letting go?
Good question. What is my role if I don't want to? I'm guessing athletics.
Athletics with disadvantage because it's pulling with you. It's pulling against you going down.
I mean, that's what. Of
Yeah.
course, it's pulling against me. That's why I'd be rolling athletics.
Yeah.
But
It
With this
also
nat-
has
with this
gravity
nat
assisting,
1.
I think, is the.
Yeah.
all right, fair enough. I will roll my good dice and this dice that gives me mediocre results. Mediocre result was pretty fucking good. That is a 23 modified.
All right.
Obviously, can't roll a nat 23. But guess what? The good dice, nat 20. Jesus, so dumb.
These were your wedding dice, right?
Yes, this is my
Okay.
wedding dice.
Well, I hate to be a buzzkill on that one, Nick, but I rolled a 19, and with his added bit of fat because of his strength bonus, he gets a 27.
But he's not actively pulling me, is he? He's the one sliding.
No.
Okay, but either way, yeah, I would not be able to hold on to that.
To hoist.
So I'd be sliding with him. No,
Yep.
no.
You still have your ground, but you're sliding with them. Frida gets an attack of opportunity.
Hi, everybody!
Frida, help!
Ezra tumbling.
Frida gets a hit with her scimitar.
Good work.
Okay, very nice. Frida is getting 14 points of damage as she slices him on the way down, chopping off his ear.
Not so pretty no more.
You'll be hearing everything in mono now.
All right, so poor Eloy. You were watching as this fat guy is rolling down right on top of you.
Oh, he's coming.
He's coming towards you, and on top of the grease spell, he gains momentum. Whoa!
This isn't so bad. No.
Could be worse. Oh, it got worse.
All right, you're AC because he's gonna bludgeon himself into you.
15.
You don't take damage, but you're able to at least hold your ground enough that you're able to now sandwich him in without pushing you out the window.
It's like trying to bludgeon you with a pillow.
Okay, now that fucking hot mess went down,
Beware of the monster, Ridley.
you are on the floor, off to the side. It's your turn.
Guys,
That-
I pratfalled and triggered this
Yeah,
whole
that was
scenario.
his
That
turn.
was my
Yeah.
turn.
The Zorns are gone, so now we're back up the list.
All right, as we are sliding down, I'm like, well, this did not go the way I expected.
Guys, I got an idea. Push him out the window and hold on tight to that chain.
I'm over here.
He's not near the window, is the problem.
Well, he
And
was
he's really fat.
well, he was rolling towards me, right? And I'm.
Yep,
Yeah.
and he's right next to the window. If he takes 10 steps back, he's out the window.
Well, then he'd have to get out of the way.
Well, that's.
You have that feather fall scroll.
Yeah.
Really, I can't push him any farther. He's just kind of sliding on his own girth right now.
Yep, poor boy is prone at this point.
Well, I communicated as much as I feel comfortable with a free action, so.
That's fair.
Do with that what you will.
I will do what I can to aim him in that direction. I'm just going to use my turn to like kind of slide him towards the window and try to.
Wrecking ball.
He also hears this as well, so.
Yeah, he is now aware of the
He's
plan.
he's kind of out of control of his own destiny at the moment. I feel.
we get a couple of moves before he attempts to right his situation.
In order to try to propel him, however, in the direction that I want, I look over to Chick on my shoulder. Mind give me a few blasts in the right direction, buddy. Eldritch blast towards to try to propel him in the right direction.
Alrighty.
And take some pot shots at his fat ass while I'm at it.
All right. If you're going to use Magic Missile as a way to propel him, I want you to use an Arcane check.
Arcane check. Oh,
Yes.
okay. Me no smart, but me try.
Firing on a creature made of magic.
I mean, there is an invocation that explicitly adds a push property to Eldritch
That is true.
Blast
That is
here.
true.
Yeah.
I don't think I can do that with this then.
Yeah,
Never mind.
You're basically attempting to try to figure that out on the fly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why. Thus
All right.
the Arcane
Well,
check.
the arcane check that I just rolled is a 14.
You applied force, but not to the same extent as you wished it to. You're able to hit him, but you're not able to lurch him forward like you wished him to.
Well, I'm not trying to lurch him forward. I'm just trying to angle him towards the window.
Yeah, no, but that's what I mean.
Gotcha.
You're lurching him towards the window, but he takes the hit, so the natural force of getting hit with a fucking magic missile is gonna happen, but he's not getting pushed.
All right, then. So I guess pew pew, 2 of those hit.
Yep.
Should I roll the damage for them then?
Sure.
If they are hitting.
He is knocked on the floor, so
Yeah. 14 damage for the one blast and 13 for the second one.
Okay.
With my move action, I guess I'm like, well, in for a penny. Keep holding onto the chain as I basically start run and just kind of drop kick him towards the window, pushing with my own momentum.
All right, roll me an athletics check with a 1d4 on top of it and give me your result.
Athletics with a 1d4. Oh, sorry, that was my good die. But that's an okay roll this time. That's acceptable. I will not piss that one off.
Feel guilty about it.
That is with a d4 on top of it. Athletics.
Well, no, don't add the d4.
Oh, don't add the d4 yet?
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right, well, my athletics check is a 19. So
Okay.
13 on the die for once, moderate. And do you want me to roll the d4 now?
Yes.
Because I got a 3 on that.
You got a 3? Okay. You both matched. You pushed him half that, so you pushed him another foot forward. So you are now on top of him, sandwiched in between Eloy. Eloy is now 1 space away from the window. He's another space closer to the window, and you are 1 space on top. You are now back, like you are now leaning against the wall, like using your feet to push into him.
Yeah, basically, I'm just like Slim Pickens, just woo!
Yep.
Going straight down.
However, you are now on top of the magical grease.
Yeah, I expected as much. I'm literally trying to use my body as a momentum to push through this slip and slide.
Yep. But with his matched, he was able to negate that from being 3 feet being pushed out into 1.
Okay.
So now, Eloy, you don't feel anything behind you. You feel the window as you kick your back leg. Oh, that's nothing.
Yeah, this is your chance to pull, I guess.
We are now up to Ben's turn. Yes,
Yep. So okay, so the windows,
behind you, right behind you.
and where is he in relation to me?
In
right
your
now?
face.
He is in your
Okay,
face.
he is in front of me. All right.
With a bunch of chain for you to grab onto
All
if you
right.
want, but...
Yeah.
His right leg is locked in chain.
All
and
right.
left arm.
Yep. I'm gonna grab a handful of chain and try and take him out this window with me.
Okay.
Roll athletics with advantage because he is bound and prone.
This may be the stupidest thing I've ever tried,
And I'm pushing with you, so...
but that is a modified 20.
We're riding this fat boy all the way to the earth.
Yep.
Poor Frida's watching as his 3 fucking his 2 employers and Dagon.
Technically, that's the employer.
Yep. She's just watching her paycheck get thrown out the window with this fat fuck.
Remember me!
Yep, so let me paint you a picture as Eloy looks at Almorad and Almorad's looking down at you. You yank the chain, taking Almorad with you as you guys plummet 30 feet. You're going with them, so you're now standing on top of Almorad while this is happening. I
am okay with that positioning.
Okay, but now before we continue into that, do you wish to actually either let go of the chain, stay on Almorad, and try to stay in the tower?
I trust Eloy.
So you stand your ground on top of Almorad?
I am holding that chain. Like I said, I'm Slim Pickens. Yeah! Just riding this bomb to the earth.
All right. So as a reaction, because Featherfall is a reaction cast, I cast Featherfall on everybody who goes out that window, which it sounds like is just me and Dagon.
At this point,
And Almorad, technically.
well,
but
Almorad
yeah.
too. However, Ezra, on
Hi.
your turn, you still had a little bit of give, so you're still in the tower.
Yeah.
But if you hold on to this, you're going out with it.
Okay.
Well, I didn't reckon on that. Good luck. But it only works on creatures that are currently falling.
And unfortunately, because you are prone.
No, I had a feeling I wouldn't get much of a choice.
Yep.
So myself and Dagon, but not Almorad, I am going to target with Featherfall. I have no idea what happens from here.
I was going to ask, can you purposely not target something?
Yes.
Like be like, okay, everything but him gets
Yeah.
to be. Okay.
Yes, I can designate up to 5 targets, and I'm designating 2. So Dagon and I are now feather falling, but he is falling at full velocity while we're holding onto his chains, which I am hoping will pull these super taut, and he is just bound now, but...
Maybe it'll cut him in half. Who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe it'll just tug us down
I was
further.
gonna say maybe his weight will counteract.
All
your-
right,
your
so
Magnets, how do they work?
Are you going to hold on to the chain, or are you going to let go of it?
I'm not sure at what point Dagon would... Actually, you know what? Featherfall works like no matter how far, so I will hold on to it until the exact last 5 feet of this drop.
Okay, but the problem is that he's still falling at the capacity, so it
Oh,
might-
I'm aware, but as soon as I let go, I will.
All right.
So yeah, that's the question. Does he reach the end of the chain and stop because we're featherfold?
I'm pretty sure we're being pulled with.
No,
his
you're being
momentum.
pulled with him, so you're
That's-
not going to take the full brunt of damage, but you are now. If you hold on to the chain, you're falling at the same velocity.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's an entirely fair way to adjudicate
Yeah,
it. I think this is
I'm
one of
going to
those
do my
DMs
best to
fiat
hold
things.
on to it for as long as I can, just to keep him bound and unable to protect himself
Okay.
from the fall.
But remember, you are falling from a 7-story foot window, so the fall might take a little bit of time, especially with the fact that you guys didn't hear the thunk of the Zorn from before.
I'm cool with this. Dagon's done dumber things.
All right, so now before we continue on with this, what are you doing?
Okay, so I've been trying to think about this as this is going on. Ezra would not realize this whole feather fall scenario would be going on. He would just be like, oh my god, my friends! So he's going to be clinging to this chain, just trying to keep it from falling, despite having no chance. He is just going into desperation mode, just like, oh no, my friends! So
That is your call.
I have a way around this, actually.
I'm just going
Don't
to go
worry.
ahead and say that me being in character right now, and from what I understand his knowledge is, his action would be like, Eloy, Dagon! The other guy we're kind of trying to keep alive, but we're against us. Like, he would just be like, I have to stop this no matter how.
Yeah,
And-
so Eloy, I'm guessing, like, kind of lets go pretty soon after we fall out that window. Is that what I'm picking up on that one?
Yeah, I don't think he has much to gain from grabbing these already taut pieces of chain. So yeah, Eloy's just floating safely to the ground.
So you
right now.
you let go of the chain and decide to
Yeah.
go outside.
Actually, how much time do I, like, how much chain did I have?
You had about
You had 10 feet of chain.
Yeah, 15, 10, 15. I'll go with him.
Okay.
10 feet.
This might not work, so I'm just going to go ahead and, like, kind of write out ask. I have
'Cause
a...
we are going a little tiny off the rails before I can.
No, I
Yeah,
understand.
no, it's,
Yeah, this is
as is
taking
the way of the natural wonders.
this is taking more time than I expected. But
Nothing is easy.
so I have a crowbar. Would the length of this crowbar be more than the length of the window? Because I feel like I would be like, "Gah!" Like to try and use this as like a block to like within the chain to just
Almurad
stop
was
it.
able to walk out, and he's a
Yeah,
wise
Okay, yeah,
boy.
no,
fell out.
there's no
He's-
way there'd be enough space.
he's a
there, so yeah.
hoss.
No, that's fair.
However, if you do wish to use the crowbar as a way to latch yourself before,
Yeah, that's basically what I was asking. Like, just
well,
the-
you can't spread it across.
Yeah, I can't.
but
I
you
can't
can
block
use it
the
to
window,
latch.
but just as a ground. Again, bad choice because I don't have strength to speak of. But Ezra's in a bit of a panic, like, oh my god, my friends! So
You still got that bardic inspiration.
it's true.
This is pretty much the same situation you find yourself in as when Wake was like, hold me!
Yeah, exactly. Just like,
Because he
I
wants to
can't.
save-
I'm the wrong guy to ask.
Okay, so let me go through this before I move on to what I'm about to say.
Okay.
Okay.
For Ezra,
Yes.
are you going to anchor with the crowbar? Are you?
Yeah. Like. He would be wanting to anchor it because.
Are you going to hold on to the chain or let go of the chain?
He would probably, rather than hold on to the chain itself, try and dig the crowbar in to use it as an anchor, like on
In
it.
between the chain?
Yes, like through the link.
Okay.
Through the loop into the ground, basically.
Okay,
Trying to
now-
find like a slat in the ground.
Okay, now if that's the case, first I need you to roll me a sleight of hand with disadvantage.
Okay. I have insane sleight of hand bonuses, so no matter what I roll, should be okay. Okay, so 13
Don't
altogether.
forget to add your D4.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Is that how bless works? Does it just
Yeah.
keep going? Holy
It keeps
shit.
going until it
I thought I
runs
had
out.
to pick a thing to do it on. I didn't realize it worked like that. Okay, so then 14 would have been.
You failed by 1.
Okay.
Ah, Bardic Inspiration, we give it to you.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
that's what it's there for.
Boom! That is now a 21.
The usherings of the words, I believe in you. Through some just like feat of inspiration, you could feel the crowbar not latch itself completely. However,
Bending.
you find out that there's a way that like this voice just ushers you to move it a little to the left, and it pivots into the rock just right. However, you are still holding on. You are now holding on to the crowbar.
Yeah, so I'm
That
just
I need, with the momentum of you falling out, unfortunately, I need you to roll me an athletics check with disadvantage.
Okay. It's a bad place to be. Real bad place to be. Even worse place to be. But let's see if blessing gets a little better. We got a 5.
No. So you stop the chain from going down, but your momentum from continuously falling out the window. I did. Oh no.
So it's like basically I've got this chain locked in place, but I'm like, but now I'm falling.
Yep.
All right, so in this meanwhile,
Oh no.
Okay.
We've set into motion so much.
This is put into motion. It's a little bit of a clusterfuck of what's happening. So let me say my piece first.
do it.
Turn orders be damned.
Yeah, we kind of stopped combat at this point.
Combat has been interrupted for chicanery.
For gravity.
So, yeah. So
Yeah, turns out gravity always wins initiative.
So you locking the chain in place, that has its effect. However, all it does is it stops.
I'm going to unintentionally hang Almorad.
So you hung Almorad. He actually he let you see his entire left side of his body give way. But because of the fact that nothing's holding on to the other side at this point.
Excuse me.
No.
Okay.
I am aware.
Okay, I'm holding
I'm
that
aware.
chain. Just making sure.
On the end of the rope, you're on top of him, still holding the other side. So you're in the midsection of the chain, holding it.
No, I never let go of my end of the chain.
Like he's been
I am holding the
wrapping
chain.
it around and now hold
Yeah,
on
but
top
you're-
of
I have
with
it
his-
taut
and-
against
Again,
him.
you're standing on top of Almorad. Behind you is the midsection of the chain.
Mm-hmm.
You're holding on to the end. The fact that Ezra locked it in place, the chain now locks itself. But however, with the velocity of you falling out of a 7-story fucking window, it makes Almorad spin. His entire body goes limp, and he spins and lurches forward.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so he's...
So now
He's tumbling now.
He's tumbling down. You're holding on to the other side of the chain.
This is
So, yes, you grab the chain. Now, here's Almorad's entire front chest now facing you and Eloy, as you are now next to Eloy, and Almorad is slightly getting loose out of the chain enough that he's able to flail his one hand. He lets go of the sword at this point. He's like gone with the sword at this point.
We're done with this.
Yeah. You are now seeing Almorad look at you, and you are seeing the sky and a little bit of the tower off to the side, as you also see Ezra just like, ah! He is now looking down at you two with the biggest grin. However this plays out, my part in this play will continue. That's what he says as he accepts his fate to push himself forward and plummet down even further.
Increases
On
his
top
gravity.
of us?
Yes, on top of you. So now he goes like this, spreads his arms open. He doesn't go for the wraparound, which is what you think he's going to do to take you with him. He looks like he's accepting the fall with him. So, Yao, you two have a choice.
Is he clotheslining him basically?
Yeah, clotheslining, but you have lots of time and wiggle room to get out from under him. Poor Ezra on this unfortunate circumstance has not taken the chain, and he's coming down faster and faster.
All right, is he? Where is Ezra? Like, okay,
He is 20 feet away
Can
and
I
gaining.
can I roll a perception check to see if I can see where he's coming from, along with his
I will
Ezra
allow
scream.
this. Go ahead.
Okay. Along with your Ezra scream, I got a 16 in perception.
Okay. He's a little, like maybe 10 feet off to the side. So, with the amount of time that he has velocity of going down,
And he's falling a lot faster than
he's
us.
falling a lot. He's falling the same amount of speed as Almorad is. So, you have enough time, either one of you have enough time to actually get underneath him. But moving over to the side, that's about as much time as you have.
All right, I can do that, and I can get away, and I can do a lot of fun things here.
You can get away just fine. Almorad is not taking you with him, and he's making that apparent.
Because here's what I am going to do. I'm going to grab Eloy by the arm, and I'm going to cast Thunder Step to get to exactly where he is so we can grab him and help him fall at our speed.
Awesome. I like this plan.
So I'm like, yes, nice. I grab Eloy, shall we? Poof, and then you just hear this boom as a shockwave erupts from where we were, and Almorad needs to make a con save.
Will do. He gets a 13.
A 16 is the save, so he's going to take the full
Point blank at this thunderclap.
Yeah, full 3d10 thunder damage.
Go for it.
6 plus 9 plus 1. So
16.
yeah, 16.
16 points of damage. Excellent.
16 points of damage as Eloy and I pop into existence in front of you, Ezra. and I think we each grab your arm to slow your descent.
Are we already dead?
We got you. It's okay. It's okay. We're fine. Watch him. He's going to fall and hit his face real fast.
All right, so you two grab onto Ezra as you watch as Almorad is plummeting forward. Since it is 7 stories, he's still got a little bit of time to pull some kind of chicanery, which he does. He kind of like flips up to his side so gravity is correct and his legs look like they're about to hit the floor.
Oh my gosh, landing feet first.
He decides to switch himself so he lands feet first. He puts his fingers to his mouth, lets out a whistle, and you watch as something forms behind him. Remember when he said, when Vagan and the Kobold said he created a phantom steed to get away? An ethereal air-like nightmare forms behind him, finally takes shape and sits under him, and propels him forward as he runs off through the air.
How much damage does this nightmare take as this fat ass is slamming onto its saddle?
He takes
From like, how many stories?
7 stories, I believe we were told.
How Phantom Steed is working is that he's going to take the damage with him, but he's also, like, since he's the one conjuring it, it's taking his stats along with him. So
it's a fat horse?
yeah, it's a pretty big fat horse.
Fat horse, he's fat.
Thank you. I wanted you to pick that up so bad. Thank you very much.
Worry not.
Oh my fuck. Okay, yeah, I rolled a nat 20.
All right.
Crushes that steed.
The horse starts to gallop with the momentum of him making him go forward. So he's lurching the horse forward, and the horse, with the little bit left of whatever there was to fall, takes the velocity, hits the floor, almost like lets out this weird burst of energy that looks like a shockwave that pushes like all the stone and all the sand out from underneath him. It's just like Superman punch, everything kind of like pushes out to the side. You guys are holding on to Ezra as you watch Almorad turn around, look to you all. Give like this, he's charred. He's fucking like, he looks like part of his entire flesh has been singed off. He just like, he like reaches into his pocket, pulls out the gem, puts it back.
When he pulls out the gem, can I try to take a shot at it real quick?
If you do, you will let go of Ezra.
I count on Eloy. More so, I was going to go with like chick on my shoulder with an Eldritch Blast, but I can like.
That's 120. Like that, the Eldritch Blast has 120 feet. Yes.
Yes.
He is far further than that. He fucking plummeted and dove down from a 7-story foot fucking fall.
But he warped to me and I was gaining on him
7
really
stories
quick.
is about 10 feet per story, approximately.
So it'd be like 70 feet.
So you can. I'll allow it, but go for it.
Yeah.
It's a very small gem that you are trying to shoot
Yeah,
at.
I believe it.
You are shooting at a very fucking small gem.
I'm firing. You know what? I'm gonna fire on his fucking horse.
There we go.
He rides across the nation, the thoroughbred of sin. No matter how he diets, he cannot get thin.
Yeah. That is a Eldritch Blast. It's a +8, so 23 to hit that fat horse.
Yeah, that's hitting.
All right, that's Eldritch Blast 1, Beam 2.
Managed to hit the broadside of this
Does
broad
a
horse.
modified 20 hit the fat horse?
That will hit.
Okay, so fat horse is taking 15 plus. Wow, it's 2 10s on that die, so 30 damage. That fat horse just took.
Damn! It's like phantom steeds don't have HP.
Chick, the horse.
A steed.
Okay.
It's like both max damage. That's crazy.
All right. No, you hit tried and true. You hit the horse. The horse takes a big chunk. It's like missing a leg now.
I'm not gonna gallop very far with that.
It's a soul horse.
It is a soul horse, yeah. So you do make a good chunk. what would have been like, you watch as Almorad like watches as the Eldritch Blast is coming in. He ducks to protect the gem. The horse takes the brunt of it, but then Almorad kind of just like looks down at the horse. He begins to mutter something, almost as if he was talking into the gemstone. And he waves his hand in front of the horse where the entire chunk is missing. His hand, his entire arm conforms into flesh made of fire and takes place where the leg is gone.
So he loses his arm?
He has replaced his arm for the Phantom Steed so he can gallop on forward. And he lurches forward.
Well, that is something I did not count on, I'll be honest.
Fascinating.
So you watch as like this Phantom Steed who was missing a leg now gets a molten leg and rides off into the distance.
I'm assuming this chain has since been.
Oh yeah, you're still holding on.
Yeah, he unwound himself.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you guys are falling as Almorad has at least a good 240 feet ahead of you as you're feather falling. He is riding off into the distance. But he is not going in the same direction as the kobolds were. You could still see the caravan from where you are. However, you also see the Zorn rising up from the floor underneath you.
I mean, I guess it was a partial success, but
Still the other Zorn, who said you told him, "Hey, go help your buddies to make sure like the drow didn't get out." He lumbers out, and now notices like all this fucking bullshit happening and looks up. However, roll a perception check, all of you.
Nat 20.
ooh, well,
That
take
beats
that.
me.
Yeah, 23.
Yeah, same.
You don't know if this has any significance, but the Zorn no longer have that molten, almost kind of like lava-like look to their eyes. They actually just look like regular eyes now. And they're not standing in a defensive stance. They're actually just watching you guys fall down slightly. You actually land as they stand there and look at you.
Gentlemen, I head back upstairs to go collect the rupees we left.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm gonna be
Free to meet you halfway.
All right.
I still want to investigate that tower, see if there's anything I can find.
You boys all right? I'm talking to the Zorn.
Yes, we do fine, Flesh One, yes.
Oh, okay, good. Can I get you anything?
Could you? Yes, you actually could enlighten us. Explain to us what happened. We remember being summoned by our tethers to find something, and then all of a sudden everything just turned red and violently hot.
There was a fire genie. Does that?
Oh, that rotund lad, yes? And the other Zorn standing there. Yes, I felt that same sensation as well.
Yeah, he left. Does that shed any light on anything?
Well, where's our tethers?
What do they look like?
Like this fellow, darker skinned and clad in clothing from the Scorpion Queen's garb.
Dagon walks back out. You would not believe it. The fire incinerated all the rubies. Holding the box. Well, time to split this up.
The Zorn actually looks at you when you open up the rubies, and you watch as their mouths on the top of their heads begin to salivate.
No.
With my insight of 18, do I believe him when he comes out saying?
No. I'm saying this as in like we are like, oh no, we couldn't retrieve the stuff they gave us. It looks like we'll just have to
go.
deal with that.
The moment you show the rubies, they like you actually hear like their stomachs grumble if that's any fucking weird sensation. If anyone would like to roll a knowledge history check to figure out what the fuck is going on, by all means.
17.
That's more like it. Unnatural 0. Dagon, don't care. He's counting money.
Well, whatever you don't care about, I don't care about with my nat 1.
Apparently
Natural
my
wonders.
17 in this thing that I should know nothing about.
Well, no, you've heard stories from adventurers kind of like give these weird tales of creatures that from a plane that is made of pure stone that can just drink and eat precious metals. After everything that's all said and done and seeing the disposition of how these creatures are like now looking over the treasure and the rubies, Zorn eat precious gems. So obviously the way they've been treated so far is that they were probably summoned here by their tethers, and then they were fed this to comply.
Okay.
So they're just starved and they're hungry because they haven't eaten, and based on the fact that they're very cooperative, that their tethers probably were going to reward them with precious gems should the job get done.
I head over to the Zorn and I just kind of put on this very sort of put upon hey fellas, you got here. I'm so sorry. I really wish I could help you. Just kind of giving the store policy kind of voice. Just be like, look, fellas, I'm sure you were pulled here from your realms to do some hard work and some good labor, and you were just kind of grabbed by the wrong people. We probably can't pay you the reward you were looking for. I kind of shuffle through my pocket though and pull out. I know I've got a couple precious rocks here. From my pockets, I bring out 2 turquoise. I have these, and we can pay you with this, but I'm afraid anything else we find is...
They don't even fucking wait till one grabs the one and the other one grabs the other, and you watch them just shove it into their mouths and start biting. You hear the sounds of what, it sounds like compressing stone under a laser, almost precision kind of situation as they bite and grind, and you watch as sparks fly out of their mouths.
Anyway, I hope any sort of miscommunication or unchecked aggression that might have come up between the people we were working for and the people you were working for can be resolved with this. I'm sorry for any trouble you might have been caused.
As long as we have our food, I'm certain everything is fine.
Oh, well, I'm glad to hear that. Thank you. Just kind of back away, hoping they're not upset.
They're not upset with the fact that you just fed them, so they're just like, huh, well, now that we no longer have tethers, I guess we're out of here. Peace. They just phase it to the ground.
Don't know if it was worth the 2 turquoise, but now we know they're not going to cause us any problems.
We can take a break right here.
That works out. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back to the table.
Yeah.
Well, he's gone, and we're basically Dagon's going to walk up to you with that big chest full of stuff. Well, you are the captain, so this is yours to do with as you see fit, as I see.
Frida comes down from the tower, seeing that you guys are all right. She's like, good. None of you need my assistance then.
Dagon's a little scorched.
Yeah, I was gonna say I have the big burn mark on my arm, just being like, yeah, no, nothing to see here. Everything's fine.
You know what? I took one from one of them Zorns. Hit me.
She just looks over at you.
I can take it.
Very well.
I can take it, coach.
Whips out a dagger. She looks at you with your eagerness. She's just like, take it in. She's like, you need to be a little less excited about this, and pulls out your arm and plunges it in.
And while the screams are going on in the background, so what the hell was that about?
I have no idea.
As you guys are taking care of this, you don't have to worry about combat at this point. So you're now left with burning what almost smells like just heat, flesh and misery from the fucking 2 houses that were encapsulated with lava as the Zorns disappear.
Did you say that the kobolds ran away with the caravan, or did
You
they
saw
just
the caravan off in the distance. They're coming back.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if they ran off with the caravan or if they just took the princess. Fuck, run!
Oh no, they did just to get out of that scene, but then they noticed you guys falling out the fucking window at the last minute, and then they noticed Almarad got away. So
Oh shit! Hide it!
they return. Here comes Vagan, just
How much time do we have to hide all of these rubies that we have?
I mean, you can hide them. It's just you have the 3 suitcases. You have the 2 suitcases.
We have the 2 suitcases, but we want to make sure that they. Well, I went upstairs to make sure that they look like they got destroyed. So we're trying to disperse this 10,000 among us.
Yeah, we want to take this 10,000 that was for the ransom that they'll probably be expecting back. But gee, what a shame. It seems that
Seems old Almarad decided to go nuclear inside.
during the fight they just couldn't be saved. What a terrible shame.
Tragedy. In fact, I used that. I would have used that flask of flammable liquid to burn everything in there.
Okay, well, you have 5 minutes to come up with a plan. I need you guys to All right, so explain to me one more time while the caravan's coming back. You two went back inside the
I went
building.
inside. Like, what I did when I came back out with the chest is I pretty much burned all the wood in there, made it look like there was an explosion of some sort. And I came back out so we could divvy this up. So say like, oh yes, it just all got destroyed in a fire. Everything blew up. Everything flew every which way.
All right, well, you have the 2 suitcases. You have 5 minutes to decide what the fuck you want to do.
We have the one full of the real ones is what we have.
Here's
Yep,
the thing. Ezra comes in with the with the 300 rubies we have already. This is a small sacrifice to get the rest of these. There have to be some destroyed rubies around here for this story to sell.
Well, why don't we just destroy some of these? I pull out a few of them and just like start taking Derringer shots to them. Just breaking them.
All right, I need you to roll me a performance check.
All right, so this
I will assist with this. I was here to make sure this went along.
A
speak of
performance
bad
check
rolls.
and then a deception check.
performance for me is a modified 20.
My,
then when we-
my performance is a 12.
And our deception check.
Well, hold on. For the performance check, you guys break those fucking rubies, no problem.
All right, so yeah, they're and you know they look cindered and whatever. I don't fucking
All right,
care. But we're just hiding a few.
whoever's going to sell the story to them is going to have to be the one that rolls deception at that point.
I do have proficiency in it.
I've got a lot of proficiency in it. 'cause
What's your?
I get +9 on my deception rolls because I have 6 and I've got a skill that gives me double proficiency in deception.
All right, I just have a +8 in deception, so I will leave it to you, who has +1 more, and you're still blessed. So.
Yes. Oh, that's right. Shit, I keep forgetting.
That shit's...
Or did that run out?
Is that
That's
end with
gone.
combat?
That's
Okay, that's done.
That's
Okay.
done with combat? Okay, that's fine. But okay, I walk out. Actually, this dice has been rolling poorly for
Excuse
me.
me.
Yep. Well, hold on. You hold off to that roll because I still have
Okay.
to get the guys in here.
Gotcha.
Who are you
Alright.
going to deceive?
Yeah,
These
we're
two?
yeah we're
Everyone who's in on this?
yeah. Right now we are trying to hide them in our various pockets and
Yes.
things like that.
Just splitting this up and hiding it and spreading it about.
All right, so explain to me what's inside the cache right now.
10,000 rubies minus probably a handful of them that were scattered around to look like destruction.
Okay, the case still looks like it's kind of pristine. How do you want to take care of that?
I can take care of that after we empty it. So
just all of these rubies, just like okay.
Now
Now
I
we
need
have-
you to roll deception.
deception. Alrighty. A deception check from me is a 21.
Yeah, you just see Dagon wail on a fucking cache case right now. Just
bashing it open.
Lighting it on fire, burning it a little, chucking bits and cinders of it around.
Eloy,
Mostly
what do
out,
you-
mostly close to the windows.
What are you doing this whole time, watching all this just happen?
We'll walk up to your saddlebags, just put a few rubies in them.
Don't ask.
Eloy, as with many things that the crew does, Eloy just resolves to stay mum during all this. Speaking of things you fluff to make worse, Eloy's actually decent at deception. I just don't like role-playing him that way.
Trying to see if I have anything that I can use to either.
Well, Almarez is now here as the caravan pulls up with Vagan just waving at you guys, just like,
Hey,
you're not dead.
come on!
Do you want us to make like sleight of hand checks to see how many of these we were able to hide in the amount of time we had?
Sure.
All right. So this will be out of 10,000. Dagon's sleight of hand is a 18.
Mine is a 15.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see.
We won't try to pretend that all 10,000 were destroyed, but
Yeah, these are what we were able to recover.
this is what we managed to hide.
You were able to at least get away with the amount of time you had left. You guys walked away with, you assume, $2,000 out of the 10.
2,000 rubies. Okay.
It's not completely divvied up, but
Yeah.
you just know that it's 2,000 either above.
Something like that.
Yeah, something of that sort.
We'll just make it a nice round number.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the sake of argument.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna take care of the numbers afterwards.
Okay,
So,
cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, basically in a half burned box, we have like the remaining 7,000
yeah.
and change that weren't destroyed in this impact.
So the Almarez comes out with the rest of his crew. Two of them are at least still in the back helping out the kid. Just
All right.
well, I'm rather surprised to see that you all fell out of a 7-story window with unsinged.
Unsinged is a poor choice of words.
Considering of a fire genie.
No, considering I turn to my side and you just kind of like see the burn mark from the swords, quite singed.
Just a little bit. I've just got that arm burn.
What of your quarry? Are you going to chase after him?
Well, he just kind of pissed off that way. I have no idea where he went.
He escaped off into the sky. At this point, it seems like it'd be pretty tough to pursue from our position. We just want to make sure that the boy is safe and that what's left of this ransom can manage to get back to where it belongs.
Here you are, by the way. Sorry, there was a bit of a commotion in there if it weren't the case.
I see. How much were you able to save as he opens up the case to look in?
It's a half box. Like, it is just like piled in there, sort of, because this box is busted.
Yeah, no, he sees that. He's just like, it's unfortunate. How much were you able to retrieve?
I don't know. I don't have time to sit here and count this, would you?
He like lifts up the chainmail. With after how my boss treats this with insubordinates, yes, I do need all the time I can.
There you are. Tink.
I've rolled for my deception real
Yep.
quick. I got a 23.
Okay. What will you say?
I'm just going. Yeah. Once we got to the top, we had to spring the trap on him. As we did that, the box opened with the tilted nature of things. A lot of rubies rolled and fell out of the case as he erupted with his fiery rage attack, which caused a bunch of heat and explosion. You can easily see the evidence of that within the tower.
It is a mess up there.
He managed to burn through quite a few of them. But here's what we were
How
able
was
to
he
recover.
able to proc fire if you put the trap on him?
He was able to tear it off. We tried to get it on there as much as we could, but he eventually relented and pulled it off.
Deception.
He already...
No,
he-
second one, because
okay.
he questioned you. You said
Gotcha.
you
okay.
sprung the trap first. That's wrong, because if you did so, how was he able to singe it right afterwards?
We did spring the trip.
No, I
No, that's fair. 19 on my second.
he believes that.
I mean, it's a real mess up there if you even go want to look at it, but it's not much to
No,
look at.
it's neither the time nor the place for that. Right now, we have to make haste and make sure the boy gets home safely. We were able to at least stabilize him, but without proper care, something will go awry.
All right, then we should probably head back as quickly as we can.
Yeah, Dagon walks over and looks at the child.
It is a small. He's like probably like 8 years old, as akin to like maybe like a child's age. You don't know much about Dragonborns, but this kid is fairly young. He's got what looks like really bloodied and crumpled up like what looks like a very nice white robe that like was singed and cut and everything off to the side because of where the scar that Almorad left on the kid to represent the one that was on his face. This looks very meticulous, like the scarring that he left on him, almost like this was a way to deliver a message. This kid looks like he's dehydrated, starved, and beaten to all get out. The fact that the kobolds were able to stabilize him was something sort of a miracle. This kid has haggard breath.
With a medical check of 21, is there anything I can do to assist?
I was actually going to do something. Yeah.
Well,
like,
since you're right next to the kid, what were you going to do?
Standing over him, Dagon just looks at him. You know, it's probably best that I'm here and not Frida. I just kind of like touch the side of his face and I use healing hands. He gains back 6 health.
Okay.
Basically, my hand glows and
He doesn't get scales back, but his skin does graft back over the wound. So he doesn't have a... He doesn't have like a very defined scarring, but he has somewhat that looks like a really bad scrape and cut rather than like an actual like performed incision on his face to look like something.
yeah. I mean, the scar will stay there, but Dagon's just making sure that he's more stabilized than the kobolds could have left him.
Yeah, they don't have any medical expertise. They were just there to get him back. So, like I said, you're able to regraft this kid's face, but he still doesn't look all that great. You have time to get him back home and have someone look at him proper if you guys just bail right the fuck now.
Well, I figured what I just did would stabilize him
It
proper,
did.
but...
No, it did. But like I've said, like, the kid's starved, he's
Yeah,
thirsty,
yeah.
he's been out in the fucking...
We'll get... The
needs-
plan is to get him home.
Yeah. He needs long-term aftercare after
Yeah.
this.
I'm
Yes.
just making sure that he's fine for the ride.
Yeah, not in any immediate danger.
Yep, that is the case. With that, the kobolds get on their ostriches. Who's gonna take... Are you gonna take the reins back on the caravan?
Hey, Vegan, can I be a griffin again for the ride back?
You know, I guess
mean,
that's
we're-
fair. We might bump into someone on the way back just in case we need to have a good cover story.
That's fair. Sure, why not? Griffin.
Yay! Call! Let's go!
All right. With that, you guys take off. Another 3 hours pass as you go through the desert, making sure the kid's still stable.
I was gonna say, is the kid conscious at all? Or is
No,
he-
he's
okay,
out.
okay.
He's out cold. He's breathing, but he's completely knocked out.
Okay, well then never mind.
Dagon's gonna nap in the back of the caravan.
For the sake of this, you guys pretty much get your health back. I'm gonna say this. Like, act as if this is a short rest.
I get some health back.
You return back to Furfos as all the guards are now like watching as the caravan comes back. They're now monitoring you, seeing that you are the ones they asked to get sent on a quest. They notice that you have the kid with them, so they escort you back to the Neris estate. You actually get to the front gate, and the kobold guards actually speak to some of the other guards who were standing there and explain the situation, and they actually let you inside. You are now entering what looks like a giant open area that there are stands of people who are actually looking at different forms of archaeological finds. Some of them are magical, some of them are mundane, but this whole place almost looks like a research center of kinds. And the more you enter into the estate, it's kind of like an outside area, then it overlaps into a tunnel that leads deeper into it. Now you're in like a marble facility that is filled to burst with a bunch of like magical creatures, just like adjusting some stuff to test different magical abilities on some things. Some people are looking off to the side reading books and writing down notes. They all notice that you guys are coming in, and they all gather around, and they notice that you have the child. Everyone's like all in a hushed tone, just like, oh, the child's back. Like Mars' son is back. Like they're finally the kobolds take you to go inside. You're led into a hallway as like some of the medical staff is now by helping out the kid. The kobolds explain the situation to the rest of the guard as they now turn to you and say, well, with that, I know our Lord Mars will want to at least speak to you, the savior of his child, and we'll take what's left here as he holds up the broken up cachet case. We'll take this to him and explain the situation.
I bow very politely and just say thank you. We will await until we are.
Oh no, he's asking you to follow them.
Oh, after you.
Vagan like gets out of the caravan and is looking around, and like the two other kobolds just like hold their spears to him and like usher him back inside. Just like you stay there. You're not supposed to be here. And Vagan's just like, damn it.
I kind of just give him away. Don't worry, Vagan, we'll be back.
Yeah, great. You get to speak to the big chief, and meanwhile the guy here who's writing down information on all these stories can't get to see anything.
As we walk away from Vegan, I turn to the guard. Hey, buddy, you ever see a talking griffin do this? Ah! And then as soon as we get out of range of the spell, poof! Now I'm a donkey man. Nah, I'm just messing with you. I'm really just. Yeah, don't worry about it.
It's just Olmerez just like grabs you by like the shirt, just like, don't do that here.
They're not the joking type.
This is a research facility. Don't pull that shit.
Get locked up in a lab if you're not careful.
With that, you are taken to a large chamber, a very nice room filled with a bunch of like a large, vast mound of library books all stacked up together. A lot of them actually having a lot of stone depictions up on the wall of the same molten man that you guys were looking at before on a lot of the pieces of artwork that you were told about. Sitting at a desk, like turned around looking at a small fireplace, is a very large chair. You see like the arms of someone in the same white robes that Zerl was wearing before, just like sitting there with like a cup of wine in his glass of wine in his hand, just like nervously, and not nervously, but just like tentatively, just like shaking like very violently. As the door closes behind him, you hear this burly, like almost growly voice. I trust this is good news. As you hear the glass start to clatter, as you see cracks in it.
Guess that depends on how much you want to see your son.
Stands up, turns around. There is a 10-foot tall dragon man looking down at you as he fucking throws his arms on the front of the table. You watch as his mouth erupts into flame, looking at the lot of you. Is that a threat?
No, actually.
Just very quickly. You'll have to forgive the tone of my compatriot here. I didn't understand the gravity of the situation. Your son is safe in here. He's back. Everything's fine.
Who are you?
If I haven't already, take my...
Like, you saw fucking, like, Almarez was about to announce something before Dagon said something, and they just like, no, fuck that! I'm not gonna open my fucking mouth here!
I am basically in the most humble of bowing, like, looking poses, very, very weaselly, and like, no, my lord!
Dagon actually steps up. Sir, you find yourself in the presence of Ezra Lockwood of the Natural Wonders.
You oversell me, my friend.
Turns his head to look at you. You are looking at this long-dreaded, red-scaled dragonborn. His entire side of his face looks like knives were just taken down the side of his face. He's wearing an open he looks like he's wearing that open robe version of what his son was wearing. This man looks like he hasn't slept in years, and he's just like he's just fucking on caffeine trips right now. Just like he's jittering. This man looks like he's this close to committing all sorts of atrocities.
Now, please, your mighty imposing sir, I wish to just we bring nothing but good tidings. Your son is fine. We have rescued him from his kidnapper. He is here. Your son is home.
Persuasion.
It's true, but you're right.
No, it is true, but
24.
you have to diffuse the situation.
Yeah.
This man is on edge.
It's like, hey, just clearly not trying to be any sort of threat or anything. Just here to tell you that we rescued your son, and he's here. Everything's gonna be fine.
You see him just like he doesn't change his expression. He still looks like stern and like no nonsense. His angered brow turns into just like a normal bear standard like glare as he gets out of his defensive pose, sits back in his chair, takes whatever's left of the wine bottle, sips it. Sits up, sits his arm, like puts his hands in front of his claws in front of his face. Explain yourself.
I begin spinning a yarn of daring do and good-natured adventurers being pulled about by the local authorities and asked to assist in a kidnapping case, by which we humbly accept and gladly try to rescue the young boy. I tell him that we are faced with adversity and a terrifyingly powerful fire djinn and his army of Zorn and Drow who wished us all harm, but managed to escape a terrifying fight, and after falling out a 7-story window, rescuing your son, who, while had been injured during his stay there, we managed to stabilize and get him back to safety.
And I was a griffin.
Unfortunately, the kidnapper escaped, however, not without heinous injury and understanding that this was a terrible idea.
During the whole story, this man's face remains stoic, but the moment you say that he got away, like he soured a lot more. Mm-hmm. However, he did like kind of look like his shoulders kind of like leered back a bit when you said that his son was fine. However, then you said that Almarad had received some kind of like hit to him that you just see like his face just go from like stoic to a little bit of a smile. Like, apparently the power play of actually dealing damage to Almarad, even though he escaped, seems like that was on the forefront of his mind.
The points I want to get across is we did our best to bring in Almarad, but to rescue the child and save his life, it was a judgment call we had to make and decided that the kid's life was more important than bringing in Almarad. And then point 2, even though Almarad got away, he is not looking good. He was hurt quite a bit on his way out.
And the good captain here left quite the mark on him with a bunch of adhesive material. Ripped off half his beard.
Yeah, he'll be remembering this encounter, and it'll probably be an embarrassing story for him to have to tell about how, his kidnapped gold mine ransom managed to get away.
I guess that's one story for him to tell the Scorpion Queen.
Dagon knocked off his horse's leg and then he lost his arm, putting the leg back. I don't know if that's permanent, but I sort of hope so. Walking around as a one-armed guy. That seems about right.
Yes.
Almrez, how does my son fare? My lord, your son is safe. He is stable, but not without scarring. How deep is the wound? I mean, like you just see Almrez is just like shaking, he's just like, my lord, our allies here were actually able to mend his wounds in some way. He looks over to Dagon and like points over to you.
Me? Oh, yes.
Though not as horrid as it could, your son will still have scarring for the rest of his days left by the scoundrel Almorad.
But think not of this as a defeat. This is a sign of his victory, a trial that this boy was able to go through and persevere and yet live. If people see this scar, they will know that not only is he able to withstand such pain, he is, he's been brought through it. He is a strong man.
You said your name was Captain Lockwood, yes?
That would be correct.
Did you just claim that my son would be used as a power play against my enemies?
I'm just saying that if you're worried about the scar sending the wrong message, it's a symbol of strength more than defeat. Your lordship, I say, just kind of like cowering a little bit there.
Speaking as someone who has bore an appearance that not many admire throughout his entire life, I can assure you that it is not the strength of the flesh, but the strength of the will that will bring him forward.
And that is the story we will continue to spread throughout the Neris society.
And what a story it is.
Indeed.
We're great at stories. I could make a song about this. It'd be great. Folks would love it.
You are speaking with a well-known bard of the colleges.
A celebrated song man.
Yeah, I just got the 2 badges. I'm looking to get that 3rd.
We're on our way to give a concert to the king himself.
You just watch as this man kind of like leans back. Almrez, leave us. Almrez kind of just like looks to the lot of you, gets Nair, who's with him, and just like goes, "Come on, let's get the fuck out of here."
Bye, Olmerez. Nice meeting you.
Thank you again for your help.
The door shuts behind you.
By the way, nothing but good to say about those boys. They got your son to safety. Real good boys, those.
He like kind of like, you watch as he actually like sits down, he snaps his fingers, and like magically chairs like leer in and sit behind you.
Don't mind if I do.
Have a seat.
Dagon sits down,
Ezra also sits.
flaps out his coat a little.
Frida is there as well. She will take a seat.
Eloy awkwardly stands next to a chair with fewer legs.
Yep. Yeah, those. I prefer to stand if that's all right.
So, I believe that since you are adventurers, you seek compensation for the reward of bringing back my son.
Kind of kneel my head a little bit. Obviously, the safety of your boy was the most important thing, but as a bit of a mercenary in sellswords, I would be remiss if I didn't ask that, if you helped our livelihood for our job well done.
Be gone with the pleasantries. He looks at you like sternly. He's just like,
All right.
Be gone with the pleasantries. Speak your mind.
Very well. It was through our intervention that your son was rescued, and I believe we deserve a reward for that.
As you will be. He like claps his hands, and you watch as a cachet case like is taken away from you by some magical force, and then another one returns in its place. Do you? Who's going to open it?
I step forward and inspect the case.
You open the case. There is only 400 gold. There's only 400 rubies inside, and what looks like sets of armor. It's a set of clothing. It almost looks like the same kind of a garb that he's wearing, but it's way more armored and has red straps of leather that go across, and you can feel intense heat come from the straps, as they all have depictions of the Molten Man on top of them. You all can receive one of the following things. As a whole, you all get 400 rupees. Everyone in this party can receive either a chain, plate, or scale mail version of something called an igneous armor. This armor grants resistance to fire damage and can stave off 1 point of exhaustion from heat-related afflictions.
Ooh.
I'll replace my breastplate with that.
Which one?
I have half plate armor, so
So you're gonna take plate?
yeah.
Okay.
If I'm good in
Now it's
lightweight,
igneous half-plate.
is that scale, I'm guessing?
You can have either chain, scale, or plate.
Okay. And as someone who is still relatively new to D&D, scale, I'm guessing, is the lightweight one? If there is one from that
I
option?
believe that's the case. Let me double check that. Because even if you don't wear it, you can still pay it off or
Yeah.
whatever.
I'm looking for lightweight stuff just because, hey, my armor is still relatively unchanged from the start. I could probably stand to upgrade something somewhere.
And mine has a few more holes in it than I'd like.
Scale mail is 14 plus dex modifier.
Hey, it's dex mod. That makes
Medium.
me feel
It's
like
a
it's right.
medium armor with stealth. With a stealth disadvantage.
Medium armor.
Never mind. And a stealth disadvantage. Okay.
You can get chain, which is medium. There's unfortunately no leather version of
Yeah.
this.
So we just get the option of one of those three?
Yeah.
Okay.
It does look like it's light enough, but on the inside, because of like the metal
Yeah.
itself and this form of metal, it's not going to.
Real quick, could I investigate it just to see if any of those would be considered more valuable than the other?
Plate is typically the most
Yeah,
valuable.
plate is the most. Let me
Okay.
double check here because it actually does state here. Well, it could state.
It might stay.
It might state. I'm just looking through the stats real quick here.
Like, if you want to make this an in-game,
Plate,
like, in-world.
Plate is the most expensive. Plate is 1,500 gold.
Okay. And we can get dupes, right?
Yes.
Just because he picked plate doesn't mean it's suddenly off the table for me. All right, then I would also take the plate armor.
All right. Ben?
Yeah, this might have to be this might require more research than should be done right at the table, if that's
Yeah.
all right. I don't want to slow down the session.
All right. Well, don't worry. We'll be fine. After you guys claim your reward, Frida will take a chain version.
Okay.
He finally sits back into his seat. Well, if you are sell swords, I would assume that if money is something of value to you, you wish to retrieve Almorad to claim a prize.
If he happens to cross our paths, I will admit that he is not the reason that we came to this fair nation.
And what is your reason?
Well, as my esteemed captain claimed earlier, we are here for an audience with the king himself.
How much of a haste is this to you?
Unfortunately, time is of the essence. We only have until the coronation.
I see. I was willing, that you have done me a good favor, to divulge any information I could if you were to seek out Almorad for a prize.
I mean, nothing says we can't look for him after our business with the king is concluded. It's just, unfortunately, we are previously bound to another job.
And obviously, if you do have any information, passing it along to us, and should we find ourselves in a situation to use said information, would still benefit us.
Tell me, did you notice that Almorad was carrying around a gem, or something that bears the same symbol that is upon the robes you have just retrieved?
He was constantly checking his pocket, and I did see him glance at a gem before messing with a few Zorn, and I do believe he glanced at the same gem on his way out.
You watch as this man stands up. I'm sorry, I actually never got a chance to actually introduce who this guy was. He calls himself, the kobolds called him Mars, but his actual name, like you could see it on his like,
he seems
nameplate.
like the kind of guy that, like, my name precedes myself. You shut your mouth.
Yeah. This man is known as, let me double check if I'm getting this correct because I don't want to fuck up my own name. Yep, Mals Volkerson.
Volkerson.
Valkersarn. He stands up from his table walks over to the stone that's adheres to the wall. He kind of like traces his claw against what a depiction of the Molten Man looks like. But in this picture, the Molten Man looks like he's holding some kind of a staff that almost looks like there's a weird, and to you, Dagon, you would know this, it's actually what looks like a seraphim on the top of a staff.
Right.
And when you want to roll an investigation check, anyone?
I mean, if I know this in real world knowledge.
Oh,
do I
you
need
know
to roll-
you know the seraphim, but the rest of the
okay.
image.
My investigation's a 4, so I'm pretty sure it's bad.
Investigation is a 22. Or 21, I'm sorry, it's +2.
At the bottom of the staff that the Molten Man is holding, it actually looks like the upside down version of the gemstone that Almorad was holding.
Well, that would be it.
He was seeking this. He goes back to his seat and he shows the scepter, the same one that's in the picture, like the staff version of it. It's missing the actual seraphim part on the top of it. A few months ago, before your entrance into Furfos, the man you know as Almorad came to me seeking this. We don't know what it is, but on one of my expeditions, I have found this scepter and this picture as well. There's not much research to be done after everything that's been happening so far, what with my son being kidnapped and gruesome displays of pettiness against my honor and my prestige. He like calms down, you like see the fire erupt from his mouth as he's talking.
I pull out a bottle of scotch. Do you need a drink, sir?
I would love some.
Dunk! Been saving it for an occasion.
Ah, very nice.
I mean, every day's an occasion when you're drinking scotch.
I look around like, do you have glasses around here?
They like magic themselves over to you.
Wonderful.
As you pour one, it flies over to his hand and he takes it.
That is an impressive ability. Are all these animated? Like I hold my hand out for the one that I poured. No, gotcha.
He's not the one to kind of joke about that. He's just like waiting for you to take it.
All right, fair enough. I pour everybody a glass who wants one. Cork it up. Dunk.
We found this depiction of the man that most of the people in this town call the Molten Man outside just south of Balibar. It was my men who discovered it, and it was by my hand that I brought this back to Furfos for study. That was about a month before Almorad decided to come to our doorstep and was actually insistent that I give him a piece of the scepter that I had found. His borders were weak, so I declined his offer. Not without security bringing him outside did he curse my name and my family. I thought nothing of it. It was just a simple fellow who was looking for simple gains.
He is quite simple.
Seems like he might know more than we do of the Molten Man. Does he know the Molten Man?
The Molten Man?
The Molten Man.
Who lives on Drury Lane?
He's married to the Molten Man.
Yes, he's married to this Molten Man.
I had asked of him if he knew anything of the Molten Man, and I had told him that some more proper information that he would be willing to give me would actually act as compensation. He hesitated, and he told me he was unable to give any information, so I declined him. As he left cursing, I thought nothing of it. My son was out doing his studies, and my wife... He like just stops for a moment and stares at the picture. As he's holding the staff, he like grips on it, but then he like animates it away so he doesn't break it as his fist curls, slams down on a table, and it just like fucking explodes into splinters. Devil curse me, I found my wife dead in the streets outside of the estate with her throat ripped open.
I'm so sorry, sir.
In my grief, I kept myself. Without my usual composure, I was left to grieve the best way I knew. He points over to the side. And you see Almarez like still standing off of the corner, just like
Oh, you're still here.
Yeah, he didn't leave. He was just like, oh God.
Excused himself of the conversation.
Yep. Almaraz didn't kind of leave because he was like still standing
Yeah.
off to the side. He was just like, okay, no, I'm supposed to be a guardsman. This is my duty.
Guarding the room.
In my anger and in my grief, I locked myself in here, finding time to cope with the loss of the one thing that makes me happy in this world, alongside with my son, only to find out that, after a month of grieving, my son was captured and taken from his studies and led out into the sands by the man who put a curse and a pox on my family. He sent that ransom note. He claimed it was for rubies, but I knew what he wanted. He wanted that damn piece of the scepter. To what end, I have no idea. But all I knew is that he besmirched me and put this blemish of a curse on my family. I will not let my power and my prestige be thrown to the side by some bandit who thinks he could get away with gemstones and any sort of pride he wished to throw upon me and destroy it. I would see that man crumble before me. I would tear his flesh from his own body with my own bare hands if given the chance.
Yeah.
Oh, and that's why you have proven yourself quite well. That what I'd like to see that you would lead out the assassination of this man.
Assassination doesn't come cheap.
No, of course it doesn't. What did the guard give you for this man to come back alive?
For this man to come back alive?
We were
What was it, 1,000 rubies?
I believe it was 1,000 more on his life being, if we brought him back alive, I think was what we were told.
He sits back down at the table, opens up the case. Lowers it. Pushes it over to the side.
Mm-hmm.
Almarad did not want the rubies. Where's the rest?
I explained to him that we were on a in a tilted tower. They tumbled towards him when he attacked with fire. Many were burned. Some had fallen out the window. There were plenty to be lost. We gathered what we could find.
There may still be some scattered within.
With a deception of 26.
You beat him by one. Beat him by one!
We did everything within our power to get as many rubies as we could back. Unfortunately, gravity, heat, temperature, all manner of fate conspired against us. We brought back as much as we could.
The Molten Man is the key to something. Something important, something of great value that Almarad would be so bold as to try and put a blight upon my family in such a way. Tell me, are you not curious of what this could mean?
I mean, obviously, I would like to know. It could be anything.
I don't need you to like, I need you to be willing to go far for this. Balibar is the last bastion where the first king entered this world, and is where he left, and all of the children of the Azamar leave when it is their time. Something of great power sleeps in there. Is that not something you would wish to hold in your own hands, to have such power?
Are you not tempted by this power? I assure you that once our duty is done with the king, we will do everything within our power to bring Almarad to justice.
If I may be so bold, how much is this man's bloated corpse worth to you?
What sort of power do you seek?
I just seek the power to live the life that I wish to live.
And what is that life?
Richer than this.
Oh, trust me, there's nothing richer out here than, say, inside the Acropolis, where the king hides himself.
Exactly. Thank you.
I've seen your king, and I've seen his power. He is a beacon, a font of power enough to have his own warlock cult come from his own hand. But that is only inside the Acropolis. Out here, his power and his influence is nothing.
Now, I'm sorry, just for clarification, is this the new baby boy king or the old king?
Yes, Muzan called the new king.
Oh, real? Huh, okay. Because
It is what
we met him when he was just the prince, and he seemed like a nice boy, but not like warlock cults and such.
that's Oslam.
Oh, okay.
You speak of Oslam, the one that walks around with the pot seraphim.
Okay, I'm sorry, I must have been confused. We don't have royalty where I'm from, so it's all very confusing to me.
It is very confusing around here, trust me. But if
The
his
only-
corpse is worth anything to you, then what of his soul?
I care not for the supernatural. I just wish to have this man hang from the outside of my window for all to see.
We were
that's
so
doable.
close.
That is, it's very close to actually how we got rid of him the first time. But,
I would like physical evidence.
very well. And
If you can grant me physical evidence,
I can assure you that his soul will suffer for all eternity should he die by my hand at the very least.
It's true. That sword on his back, it's not just there for show.
It's just drooling. Stop that. Stop it.
I am very close to a breakthrough to find what is inside Balibar. That is what I have been searching for all this time. Something of equal value, something almost similar to the Realm Gate sleeps within the Acropolis. And the king knows it, and will not share that information with anyone else. That is where the source of his power is.
So do you believe that the Acropolis and the Balibar to be connected?
Oh, of course. It would just be silly to send their own after their time is done to go sprinkle off into realms unknown without some sort of plan or some sort of scheme in mind. I wish to put an end to that and take my place as the seat of the throne of the Acropolis. The Azamar have had that power for far too long, that us mortals, the creatures they throw within the ring, or with worst case, out here, near criminals, to hold such sway and power over people.
So you're looking for a full-on revolution within the Acropolis.
Yes. But one small step at a time here. I wish those who slight against me dead and made a spectacle of.
I can respect that.
Just looking for the dawning of a whole new age. This is the dawning of the age of Acropolis. The age of Acropolis.
Eloy, no, please don't make me laugh in front of this man. I think he'll kill me.
You're Lord Mars, and we need to find your Jupiter and align you.
He does this.
More fourth wall references.
We bring him along a lot for levity. Also, he's got some pretty good healing. Anyway,
Keep your buffoon on a leash.
Lord Mars, I have to say you bring up some very interesting points. I hadn't realized the difference in opinion here. I had always thought that the people out here on the outskirts were followed the rule of the king in the Acropolis. And
Fools, all of them. Fools, all of them. They're all sheep!
Dagon just has a bit of a smile on his face now.
the gears are a-turning. Well, if there's any connection between the Balibar and the Acropolis, if we manage to gain access there with our audience with the king, hopefully we'll be able to find any connection, and that will give us more information into this situation, both with not only with Almorad, but it's very easy to believe that he's also in cahoots with the Scorpion Queen, who we've heard so much about lately. assuming that this is all one big connected conspiracy and maybe some information from one end will help the other.
Captain, are you willing to sell me information of the Acropolis to me?
Well, everything has a price, my liege.
Sans fucking slams his hand down. And what would be that price for such information?
From what we understand, there's an attempt on the new king's head. Originally, we were looking to stop that, but obviously you have some vested interests, perhaps, in seeing a change in the throne.
If you're claiming that it's by my hand that I wish the king to die, you would be wrong on any other given day of the week. I would not hesitate to see that little cretin just crack his neck within my hands and watch the blood seep out of him.
He's still a kid.
You know of their rules. The children are the innocent ones, thus the ones to lead their country. But this is not by my hand. I have not ordered any hit on the Acropolis. That would be suicide.
It did seem a bit below you. That's why I assumed this was a different conspiracy, more unlikely trying to find power from both ends of the spectrum.
I don't wish to, as much as I have the power to do so, to crush flesh with my own hand, I'd rather see them squirm before me before they die.
My fear is that these criminals who have been bothering you so much and maybe planning an assassination on the king are trying to get you to work against one another, and might be how a lot of this is falling apart as poorly as it has and is working in their favor. It seems like there's a lot of miscommunication and misdirection going on, and the only ones benefiting from it are the criminals.
It is true that one Hippolyte was absconded from this location not too long ago as well, was he not?
If that was the case, I heard rumblings of a story, but as I was saying, in the grief of losing my son, that was not on the forefront of my mind. As I've stated, if you wish to divulge any information on the Acropolis to me, give me its inner workings, how it all fits into all of this, and if you bring the criminals responsible for this whole fiasco to me, you will be rewarded of the highest caliber that I can offer you, and I can offer a lot of things.
Well, any information we gain on the Acropolis, I will be sure to bring back to you. And,
as much as it pains me to follow in their rights, this is most likely the only good way that we will be able to track ourselves. Your hand.
Always with the daggers.
really thought that was more of a Azamar thing, but I guess it went in the desert. Do as the desert do.
He doesn't have a dagger.
Oh.
He has what looks like he has a brand. This doesn't look like it'll clean up easy. This looks like it's permanent.
My one request is if this is some sort of big visible marking, if I'm going into the Acropolis wearing this, I need to make sure that this isn't something that will gain unwanted attention. I'm fully willing to enter a deal with you. I just need to make sure that it's not a deal that will give me away in an attempt to help you.
No, it is something else. He takes the dagger that also has the brand on it. It looks like it's serrated.
Okay.
He begins to carve into the hand. What?
Before he carves in,
Yeah.
may I? It seems like we're trying to trust each other here. Perhaps, and I'm just floating this out there, maybe we don't need a contract for this specific situation. It seems that should we come under fire about what said contract is about, should something slip out there, I think both sides might be in trouble. Our mission would be in jeopardy, and, well, your house might be in jeopardy in that case.
A brand from your house would be an extra thing for me to explain once I was able to enter such a sensitive area.
I'm willing to persuade that one.
Yeah.
I am willing to assist.
Not sure if it'll be necessary. 21.
Yeah, you don't need to assist.
All right.
Very well. It was not a brand of the Azamar that I was willing to give you. It was actually something else. Something that might actually be able to assist you in finding any other pieces of the Molten Man. There are creatures that we found that have the symbol on the wall. Perhaps it was a key to it getting into certain places within Balibar that would assist you with this.
And something living just needs to have this piece on it?
We have not tested this yet, but yes, we believe that might be the case.
Looks over his shoulder. I'm guessing Griorchik's just going, no.
No.
How about something like this?
Upon a sword.
Oh, it is no sword, I assure you. It's a terrifying monster.
Rather poetic for your blade.
Yes,
But
I
if you
thought
wish-
so too. It gets old, though. But it has flesh nonetheless.
I suppose it does. Hold it and contain it.
Now, you and I share this pain, chick. Stiff upper lip. Whoo!
Chick has now been branded with an image of the Molten Man.
Branded.
Branded chick.
Punish Chick.
Punished chick.
You stay out of my Pornhub history, okay?
Okay. All right.
In any case.
And with that, our understanding gets a little
Yep.
deeper.
And with that, well, now you have just been added on to this little collusion. Mars wishes that the king would fail, or there's something within the Acropolis that Mars is seeking in order to give power back to the people, or so he claims. Because he's not very fond of what's been going on to the mortals outside of the Acropolis. Much like how, his wife probably got eaten by vampires, his kid was almost stolen by someone, and almost killed by someone, and now someone's trying to steal his power and make a fool of him, someone who's the highest rank of the entire Neris estate. An estate of researchers trying to clean up the mess of the people of Eberkal.
I'm a very rich and powerful man, but I still have to listen to the king, damn it.
Very well. The deal is struck then. Whatever information you come back with from the Acropolis, I will reward you as such.
I hear that, chick. Don't go breaking no deals. I apologize. He has quite the mouth on him today.
You hear Mars actually speak back to Griorchik,
In deep speech? Wow.
and Chick shuts the fuck up instantly.
What does he say? Because I do understand deep speech. You can just say something that's as vague as a threat, but...
Silent tendril.
Ooh, he's got your number.
Chick doesn't say anything, he doesn't move.
I like you a lot.
There are many languages I've learned in my line of work.
This one's an old one. I still don't really know what it is. I'm picking up a few words here and there. I know how to curse in it explicitly.
What you carry is a piece of the demon it's supposed to be. I see that not your soul, but a piece of you is missing, bound to it.
Yep,
You
that's
were able
about
to
right.
feel pain when the brand was put upon it, yes?
Yes.
By extension, you are a part of this reach. We don't have much information due to the nature of my work having me stay on this island. But there are deep creatures that swim about these waters and use others as conduits. Unfortunately, my friend, you are one of them.
I feel it's kind of a give and take relationship at the moment.
Well, if you don't wish to feel any negativity or any sort of sense of danger from this message, then I guess there's nothing wrong of this sort. Just know there may become a time where a lot of you will be visited upon the actual beast, not just the reach of it.
I look at Dagon and Chick.
Just like circling scotch in my hand.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
Very well. If you have no issue with extending the reach of the true beast, then all is well.
Well, all right then. If I'm understanding this, our goal here is to get you as much information from the Acropolis as we can,
And kill Amurad and bring back his corpse, or bring him alive for me to kill. You'll be rewarded handsomely if such.
I'll do everything within my power to make sure both of those we succeed in both of those. As I have a bone to pick with Almurad as well. He was kind of a jerk.
This meeting is adjourned.
I'll take my leave then. I bow and just head out, or I guess head towards a guard who I assume will show me the exit.
Yeah, you see Alvarez just like sit there, just like.
Yeah, Dagon follows suit. Just kind of stands up, sets the glass back down. Nods.
Alvarez leads you guys back outside. They escort Vagan, who was using the carriage. They take the carriage out with them. He's just like, wait, no, I want to see. I was writing down notes. No.
Come on, Vagan. Don't make them regret inviting us in.
Did you learn nothing about the Splendor Maw, though? Or did you even speak about it?
I'm sorry. He was kind of interested in talking about his kid and, classified stuff.
Oh, you had one chance. We were in an entire research facility. I could have had all the notes I could have possibly needed for all the scripture.
And
As
see-
you guys say that, you go outside. You hear from the roof of one of the houses as you're led out back into the main streets near, like, the Paper Wasp. There you are! Want to roll perception check anyone to see where that's coming from?
Yeah, I assume that's where it was.
7.
22.
14.
Everyone kind of like looks up, they're stretched looking down at you guys.
Hey!
That food was terrible! It was all burned!
Hey, I'm sorry. Wish we could have given you better food.
Oh, you will? Because I know where your fat friend went, and if you don't feed me him, I swear I'll do something. I'll curse you forever!
All right, you just come on down here and keep that information between us, because there might be something in it for you better than food. If you catch my drift.
You can have his entire bloated corpse. We just want his head.
Roll a persuasion.
17.
Persuasion for me is a 19.
Rolling low against all of these. If you double-cross me one more time, there will be hell to pay. You get me a corpse of someone recently killed, or I swear I will poop all over everything you own!
Joke's on him. Everything I own's on. Oh, no.
And that's where we'll end the session.
But it ain't done here, because we got some fan art to look at.
And oh boy, have we set up some situations for more art to come in.
Oh boy. Let's start off here.
Let me get my thing as well, because I actually commandeered this one. For
Yeah, no worries. See, I know I retweeted some a little bit earlier, so I'm not sure which one we're starting on, but if we pop up number 1.
All right, new goal is to make
Ah,
Stretch
down
a
that
permanent
way.
member of our crew. I'm figuring this out. He's going to be my new pet.
All right,
Here
this-
by Matthew Kunze55.
Ooh.
Yep.
Kunze. Got a little comic here. Sure, it's nothing. I feel like we're forgetting something. Like what? Meanwhile, at the docks, the Yeldon's
Yeldon,
gone
no.
mad. Thank you. Thank you very kindly, Matthew. Next up. Here by who is
Keziah
that?
Smith.
Keziah Smith 111.
It's their idea of what someone of the Sun Guard might look like.
Ah, that's
Wow.
pretty cool.
Good looking Asimar right there.
I love the wings and stuff. Like that's a really cool effect
Yep.
that they've got with it just covering its
I
face
also
and stuff.
love that the hair is smoke.
Yeah.
Listen, you unromanticize the angel as much as you do, and I'm just like, no, that's exactly what I'm looking for. I'm looking for like fucking little like eyes in the middle of a giant like orbular ring of shit. Like that's the kind of angels I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
the Bayonetta shit.
Yeah, you read the actual like physical descriptions of angels in the Bible, and there's a reason why they start every conversation with "Be not afraid."
Because you're still gonna get afraid no matter what the fuck.
Yeah, I think one of my favorite quotes was from like Supernatural. It's like, I actually have 7 heads, one of which is a lion. But thank you kindly, Keziah Smith. Next up, by Key Entertainer. I love the touch. I love the touch that like Chick's eye is sticking out through the little like crack there.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, we got. Boing! We've been spotted. Dun 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 dun.
Tried to move while eyes were on me. Didn't work. A true box of
I see you,
danger.
Almarad. I see you.
I have you now. But thank you kindly, Key Entertainer, for this wonderful, wonderful
Kept
piece.
you waiting, huh?
Next up, we have a 2-scale version here of.
Darum's Folly.
Yeah, this is Darum's Folly.
Wow.
It's not a small ship, and we even have a
Scale.
We even have Ezra and Ezra and Eloy to scale.
That's pretty good. I like it. Also, that's good for Eloy's scale because it's frequently. I always think he's bigger than he is, but he's a small centaur. He is.
Yeah. And you don't have Wake around to clean off the bottom of your ship
Yeah,
anymore.
no more barnacle duty.
Barnacle boy.
I'm gonna scrape this good. I'm gonna make sure you're all healthy, Eldon.
Something we never even had to think about.
Yeah.
It was part of Wake's morning routine when he was going out fishing. Anyway, thank you very much. This is by Armada 6136. Thank you kindly, Armada 6136, aka Zachary M. Simmons. Thank you so much. Next up,
Yeah.
by Raphael Alphonse, Raphael _ Alphonse. We got a punchy princess.
She's coming in swinging.
She's going in for that punch. She going to get it. Yeah, this is like Cartoon Network style, like modern Cartoon Network style, like almost Steven Universe-esque.
Yeah.
I'm very happy you didn't use the cursed
That
phrase.
Cal Art style with their bean mouths.
I wasn't going to use it because I didn't even know that was a phrase.
No, apparently it's.
It is a descriptor for that style that is often used in a pejorative sense, which was not at all what you were implying.
Exactly.
Because
Fair
this
enough.
is very cool.
Yep.
Yeah, it is quite excellent. Thank you kindly, Raphael _ Alphonse.
Do not say the magical curse word to the artist in the fucking room!
You may not.
It's also a term often misused by people who don't understand art.
Exactly.
I know I don't understand art, so I just avoid using it, and that way I can't misuse it.
Next up, by Abram Amari, we have Carnedra. Yes. Wait, when this arc is over, I'll be coming back, and trust me, there will be carnage.
Venom in theaters now.
Yeah, no, I'd say wait for Netflix. That's my review.
Yeah.
It's okay. But thank you kindly, Abram _ Amari. Next up, by MFS Arts, we have The Loss of the Yeldon, but the intro to the Darum's Folly, the new Transformer.
Foley, roll out!
Yeah, the new we had to get rid of that last one because the old toys sold. We sold all of them to everybody who was going to buy them.
Every child in America owned a Yeldon, so we had to kill it off.
Yeah, every kid in Los Serranos who was curled around their Scryotron 6000 in the morning now needs to
Legitimate Larry
go
had
out
no
there
more to
to
sell.
get
My favorite fucking skit from Dana Carvey will always be, buy me that useless piece of plastic, but you already have that one. I don't have that one. I got Mega Tor. That's Mega T. You can tell because the index finger's crook slightly different.
But thank you so much, MFS Arts. I love everything you put out. Thank you kindly for this wonderful piece. Next up.
Sega Exeron.
Yeah, Ziga Exeron or Caesar Morales. Ow, a paper cut.
Let me heal you!
I'll fix it.
No, it's quite all right. Ah!
I'll make it worse before it gets better, but it will be better.
It will be better.
I love the idea that Eloy's such a people pleaser. It just makes her so happy. Like, all right, I'll put up with this.
Yeah, he was just like, take me. She's just like, whoa, chill out. I'm just gonna do the arm.
Careful, careful.
It's no fun if you want it.
I really don't, is the thing.
I just accept it. But thank you kindly, Ziga Exeron.
Next up, my finger.
Charlotte.
We got Charlotte sitting out on the deck, just adoring the stars. This is by Marvel Poison.
Just hear
Always
the
does
Celeste
wonderful
theme
stuff.
from Final Fantasy VI in
Yeah.
my head.
Would you believe me if that was actually part of how I decided her?
Would not be shocked.
Dude, music is a very, very big inspiration.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But thank you kindly, Marvel Poison, for this wonderful sketch of a wonderful girl that we left back at the
I was gonna
back
say,
at the city.
I
Oh,
honestly
trust
kind
me.
of keep forgetting that we left a sect of our team back. Like, oh yeah, we're gonna have
we
Miss
can't
Lars.
travel with all of them.
No, and also, like, I want everyone to know that, like, there's a lot of people you could choose, and there's a lot of people you take with you, but the fact that we have the Fortune Tides Adventuring Company is that for that exact purpose alone, is that they could go off and do their own shit and come back with stories.
Yeah.
So you're not missing anything, you just don't see it on screen.
It's very real. We'll go back to writing, like Nedra will be like, I know how to do other shit because I've had stuff to do.
Pretty much.
The whole
I know how to punch harder.
I can read now.
And punch. I punch books.
I beat
the
the
books.
crap out of those books. Really hitting them books.
Harder, Nedra. Pff, harder. Pff, it's a thick book. You gotta break it.
Thank you very much, Marvel Poison. Next up. This one's a little above these, I think.
Oh, did it? Oh,
yeah, it's just a little out of order. No worries.
Sorry for this take on.
I also love the look of Chick in this, where it's like kind of like the hook pattern for
Yeah.
the arm guard.
Yeah.
His like little mouth. And,
It's weird, it's not on here, but I do know this is from Gita Z.
oh yeah, it's from Gita Zeke, whose commissions are open.
I apologize, I don't understand why it's not showing up here.
That's weird.
Eh. Old busted phone. What are you
Yeah,
gonna
I
do?
get you. My phone's been acting up lately too.
I love the reference picture, the classic Batman slap shot.
Yeah.
And next up,
Yeah.
we got the former king of the Yo Mama battles,
Roasted.
impaled by the roasted. A roast so devastating he could not handle it.
You know what I was kind of hoping that you would do? If I rolled high enough, you would have got the fucking chicken staff.
Behold, this is better than any badge.
You may have it.
Grants you access to any chuckle bucket between the hours of 9 and 2.
This is by @Shell_Mel. That's Shell with 2 L's, Mel with 1 L. Fuck. Welcome to the Chuckle Bucket, and thank you kindly, Shell Mel.
I want to make
And do I got one more? One more. Here we have Frida in desert garb,
Ooh.
chilling out there.
By Systems Recoded.
Yep, System Recoded, whose commissions are open.
I can't think of any famous desert figures to mix Frida into their name
But
right now.
I'm also
blanking.
loving that the fucking camel has a mustache.
Oh yeah,
He's got a Mario mustache. I love it.
it also has a turban.
Yep.
And then underneath that turban, wrapped around inside it, Cappy.
Let's go. Yeah, this is a really great looking Frida. She's obviously not enjoying the sun too much, but she clearly enjoys it enough to be wearing enough to, let the sun hit her at maximum velocity.
Reveal.
Yes. But thank you kindly, System Recoded, and thank you everybody who out there who puts fan art out there with
Yes.
the hashtag TFS fan arts. We love looking at it every Friday, and of course the highlights of the table fan art here at the end of every episode of TFS at the Table. Again, thank you all for all of your contributions to making all of this possible with your subs and bit drops and just your overall, being here with us and just hanging out. Thank you so much, guys. And we'll see you guys next time at the table.